Hello again, everyone. Frank Gifford with Al Michaels and Dan Deerdorf. We're happy you're with us tonight. Important game for both teams. The defending Super Bowl champion Cowboys come in surprisingly at 7-4. They need a win tonight to stay within one game of the New York Giants in the NFC Eastern Division. They lose tonight. They fall 2 back with only 4 games remaining on their schedule. Their division would be in jeopardy. Even the playoffs perhaps in jeopardy. Big game for them tonight. They go against the Eagles, who come in tonight having broken a 6-game losing streak. They won last week against Washington. They are now 5-6, but Al, they are talking big. We had a chat with some of them last night. They still think they can be in it, but this is a team that's been decimated by injuries.
Frank, coaches are always moaning about injuries, but these guys have a very legitimate beef. They really take the cake, and it comes on the heels of losing people like Keith Jackson, Keith Byers, and Reggie White to free agency last season. And now this year, Randall Cunningham down in the 4th game with a leg injury. He might be back before the end of the year. Fred Barnett, the Pro Bowl wide receiver, out for the season. Byron Evans, the middle linebacker, is still out. It goes on and on. They have started 41 different players this year. But Rich Kotite said on the field about an hour ago, he said, just you wait and see. We're going to play great tonight. They'll try to do it on the ground, win the time of possession game with Herschel Walker and Vaughn Hebron carrying the ball. And they need to shore it up defensively. They have the fridge now. William Perry, they didn't have him 5 weeks ago when Dallas beat Philadelphia, and Emmitt Smith ran for 237 yards. But that was 5 weeks ago. And Dan, the Dallas Cowboys 3 weeks ago looked as if they were a lock for a 2nd straight Super Bowl. Now everybody around here biting their nails.
They really are, Al. But one thing they do know, and it's the month of December. And the month of December for most people means that they get into the holiday spirit. But in the National Football League, the month of December is where teams that make the playoffs and do well in the playoffs look back and say, here's where we shifted gears. And that's exactly what the Dallas Cowboys have to do, is shift gears to that next level. Take their offensive troika of Aikman, Smith, and Michael Irvin. This year, a year ago at this time, they had accounted for 32 touchdowns between the 3 of them. Now look, this year, only 15 touchdowns among the 3 of them. That's a huge difference. The Dallas Cowboys will look back at this game tonight and say, here's where we flipped the switch and went on to bigger things, or they'll look back to tonight and say, here's where we knew we weren't as good as we were a year ago.
And Eddie Murray will flip the switch on the kickoff. The longtime Detroit Lion, who was picked up after the start of this season to replace Lynn Elliott. Herschel Walker, who does everything, even plays on special teams for the Eagles, back to receive. As the kick comes down to the 4-yard line, Herschel Walker takes it there, and running laterally along the 7, can only get back to the 10-yard line. A 6-yard run back, and the Cowboys pin the Eagles deep. With Cunningham gone, it's Bubby Brister, the longtime Steeler, now at the helm. Guided them to the win last week against Washington, brought them from behind, 17-14. With him, Walker and Vaughn Hebron, the rookie. Williams and Bailey, another rookie, are the wideouts, and Mark Bavaro, the longtime Giant tight end. Boldinger, Shad Alexander, their number 1 draft choice Holmes, and Anton Davis, the interior 5. Calvin Williams is the man in motion, and they begin with a 2-back set. Give it to Walker, and he goes next to nowhere. Dixon Edwards, the outside linebacker, to wrap him up. Now the Cowboys are minus Charles Haley, bad back. He's been limited this year in his effectiveness and is inactive tonight. Thus, Tolbert, Casillas, Leon Lett gets the start up front, with Maryland coming off the bench. Edwards, Ken Norton now playing in the middle, and Darren Smith, the rookie, outside. And the secondary has been solid and consistent. Smith and Brown, Woodson and Everett. 2nd down and 9. A look at Leon Lett, who was involved in the play 11 days ago that cost Dallas the game, but tonight gets the start. And in the middle of this one, Leon Lett is right there as Vaughn Hebron, the rookie from Virginia Tech, can't get on track. It'll be 3rd down, and Randall Cunningham in civvies walking up and down the sideline.
And I think we saw early what Jimmy Johnson wanted to see from the Cowboys, and that is, after their loss on Thanksgiving Day Thursday, to play with a frenzy. He said, we can't strut anymore. We have to come out and play like the Dallas Cowboys, and that means we have to play in a frenzy, and we have seen that here in the early going.
3rd and 9. With 4 receivers in this set, and Walker staying in to block. The catch is made up at the 16, by Victor Bailey, but short of the first down. And it's 3 and out for Philadelphia on their first possession as Gant and Bates converge on the stop.
That's what they wanted. They wanted a couple of helmets on every receiver, hustling on the part of their linebackers, and they got it on that first series.
Well, I know you mentioned in your open that Richie Kotite told you that the Eagles were going to play well. That's exactly what we heard from Jimmy Johnson yesterday, and that's certainly the way they have started defensively.
Eagles punting, fielded at the 39 by Kevin Williams, who ran one back all the way on Thanksgiving, but this time he is stopped at the 39-yard line as Troy Aikman and the offensive unit come out. James Joseph made the last tackle. Aikman, first guy picked in 1989 in the entire draft out of UCLA, now in his 5th year. Super Bowl MVP last season. Emmitt Smith and Darrell Johnston in the backfield. Irvin and Harper are the wideouts. Novacek caught more passes last year than any other tight end. Tuanay, Newton, Stepnoski, Gogan, and Williams, the Super Bowl interior 5. No changes up front. 1st and 10, Dallas at the 39-yard line. Novacek in motion, and Emmitt Smith, who shredded the Eagles on Halloween Day. A flag is down. Smith had picked up 4. There's a marker down at the 45-yard line, 6 yards past the line of scrimmage. Howard Rowe is the referee tonight. And the first call goes against the Eagles. And Johnson saying we'll take the penalty.
Illegal hands to the face on a defense, number 25. First down.
Rich Kotite's defensive unit now for the Philadelphia Eagles. Flores, Harmon, the Fridge, who came over from Chicago, and Clyde Simmons, who had 19 sacks last year. Joyner, the great outside backer. Hager for the injured Evans in the middle, and William Thomas. McMillan and Eric Allen are the corners. Andre Waters is back along with Miano at safeties. Waters hurt for the first half of the season. Smith takes it to the 49-yard line. And a skirmish between Eric Williams and Mike Flores. Not even enough to send them off for 2 minutes for roughing.
You had a quick look at little Mark McMillan. I say little. He's a 5'7", 162-pound cornerback. Got in there to help his teammate Mike Flores, but I think he's going to see a lot of action tonight from these big outside wide receivers. There he is. He's 5'7", second-year Alabama. They say he's tough. They like him on the corner. But he'll have his hands full tonight. They're going to have to help him out against 6'2" Michael Irvin, who loves to fight little cornerbacks for the ball.
On 2nd and 5, Aikman's first pass of the game, out into the flat to Emmitt Smith. He takes it across the 50 to the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3. Mike Flores makes the stop. Byron Evans with that broken arm. They hope to have him back in a couple of weeks, the middle linebacker.
We originally were told that he was going to be out for 6 weeks, Frank, and this is the 5th week that Evans has been on the sideline. So the Eagles are hopeful that maybe he'll be back out on the practice field possibly this week. If not, then next week for sure. Seth Joyner, though, number 59, he's still there. He's banged up, but one of the fine all-around linebackers in the game.
3rd and 3 as Emmitt Smith gets that first down. A 4-yard gain to the 45. Flores makes the tackle 4 minutes, 10 seconds into the game with no score.
Well, the Eagles have been better against the run than they have over the beginning of the season. That happened when William Perry came in, but they are very small at the linebacker, and that's where you really stop the running. As we look at one of the great defensive coaches in this game, Bud Carson, he's juggling some very small linebackers. They average about 230 pounds. Britt Hager, who replaced Byron Evans in the middle, Dan, as you pointed out, is 225 pounds. That's tough.
And William Thomas on the outside is only 218. And meanwhile, this Cowboy offensive line has 4 guys over 300, 3 over 325.
Smith again behind a Johnston block. Swings by Simmons and is out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And the Cowboys want a face mask. No flag, though. Emmitt Smith picking up 5. We'll take another look. Yep.
Oh, yes.
You can see the effort at the end to get the hand off of Emmitt Smith's face mask, but it was there long enough. That's why we only see the 5-yard call. If he would have dragged him to the ground with his hand still on the face mask, that would have been good for 15.
2nd and 5 at the Philadelphia 40. Aikman off the fake, buys a lot of time, throws, it is caught, and no, incomplete. He never had control, so no fumble, simply an incompletion. Harper couldn't handle it, hit by McMillan.
And that time they put Harper against the 5'7" McMillan, and Harper goes 6'3". We talked about Irvin being 6'2". These are big outside receivers. And in the case of Michael Irvin, he'll fight you for it.
Alvin Harper is one of those guys you just keep waiting for him to explode and dominate and turn into a Michael Irvin type receiver, and he just doesn't seem to get over that hump.
Or even a young James Lofton.
Yeah.
Great speed,
Same
jumping
number.
ability.
Same number.
3rd and 5. Aikman hits Williams, the rookie. First down, tackled at the 32. Rich Miano collared him there, literally.
That time in front of McMillan. They're not wasting any time telling you where they're going to go with the football tonight. And why not? On the other side is a 3-time Pro Bowler, Eric Allen. They lock up again. This time is the rookie from Miami. Played high school football right here in Dallas. Evan Williams, a little clothesline at the end, but didn't get the face mask. And the Cowboys get the first down. McMillan's going to be busy tonight.
9:05 to go, first quarter, no score. This is the Cowboys' opening drive after the Eagles went 3 and out. Emmitt Smith. And he nearly got clotheslined by Allen before Flores makes the tackle.
Another high tackle, that time by Allen, but we saw Miano go to the head on the play before on Williams, and this time Eric Allen comes in real high on a tackle on Emmitt Smith, and we're going to have to see if this is a pattern that's beginning to develop. There's Miano who made the first one. Look how high Allen is right there with his hand up in the face of Emmitt Smith. Now that type of a tackle may do some damage to Smith's head, but it is not going to tackle him. He'll run right through that every time.
2nd and 8. This is the 8th play of the drive, and Aikman is lucky that Allen didn't pick it off on a pass intended for Harper.
I don't know how he missed it.
Just a poorly thrown ball.
How did Allen miss
it? To
it?
the inside, and Aikman hit Allen right in the hands. Now for the Eagles, a tough assignment. They bring in their dime package. Now watch this. Aikman, a lot of time to throw the ball, and just either Harper switched up on him or he just threw it poorly. But now is when Jay Novacek, the tight end, comes into play for the Cowboys. He's like a wide receiver. And 3rd down, almost sure pass. You can't treat him like a tight end.
3rd and 8 at the Philadelphia 30-yard line. The Eagles rush 4. The pass is underneath to Smith. Smith breaks the tackle, turns it into a first down.
William Thomas.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, William Thomas had Emmitt Smith perfectly, and Smith ran right through the tackle, and this game could not be starting any worse for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, you know, you said it earlier. Emmitt Smith outweighs, I think, William Thomas, the linebacker, and he runs so low to the ground. Watch this. Williams is a good tackler. I mean, Thomas is a good tackler, and he's having a great year, but he just could not control Emmitt Smith.
Well, when you're a 16-point underdog like the Eagles are tonight, you don't get many missed opportunities, and that's what they had when Eric Allen didn't intercept that pass.
1st and 10 from the 11. Aikman to the corner. Touchdown, Michael Irvin.
Well, there's no question where they were going to go with it. I think on each first down, they went right back at McMillan.
You don't get many second opportunities in this league. And the Eagles had the opportunity to make 2 big plays. Eric Allen had a shot at the interception. William Thomas had a shot at getting Emmitt Smith for a loss. They failed on both, and this is the price they paid.
And they used half the first quarter in doing so.
Eddie Murray for the point after. Michael Irvin's 61st catch of the season was his 3rd touchdown reception of the year. And on the opening drive, they go 61 yards to lead 7-0.
KFC presents Doing It Right on Monday night.
Who caught Randall Cunningham's famous first Monday night touchdown pass? Can you get the right answer?
Behold, a legendary holiday feast for 4. A plump, juicy Colonel's rotisserie gold chicken.
88, and he didn't disappoint.
Cunningham, you let him roll out. You give him an option. He's a great runner. Give him an option to either throw or run the football. Look at that agility.
If you said Jimmy Giles, you got the right answer.
So, where's the boss today?
Monday Night Football is being brought to you by CompUSA with over 5,000 computer gifts. CompUSA is the computer superstore. Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. They are driving excitement. Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? And American Airlines, something special in the air. The Cowboys something special on that first drive. 61 yards, lead 7-0. Murray's kick taken by Herschel Walker, and he runs it back from the 5 out to the 20. And the Philadelphia Eagles, who were 3 and out the first time around, will start from there after Dallas goes 61 yards in 10 plays, and with 7:15 to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. It's Dallas 7, Philadelphia nothing.
Did you make that out?
No, sir.
Well, the only question.
Maybe we did.
Who are the other 9?
The other 8, I don't know.
Tune in and find out.
Yeah. Still open, I guess. Philadelphia from the 20. Bubby Brister to throw. Herschel Walker makes the catch. A little spin move on Edwards. And finally Brown tackles him at the 25-yard line. Herschel Walker started with Dallas. Actually started in the USFL, but in the NFL here, then to Minnesota. Now with Philadelphia. Receiver, runner, blocker, and plays on the punt coverage unit.
Leading receiver and leading rusher coming into tonight for Philadelphia. They made a lot of headlines, and this time Dallas traded him in '89 for everybody in Minnesota, and he's still in the game and still playing well.
2nd and 4 from the 26-yard line. Walker again, and Norton is right there.
A lot of people know who follow this game that Ken Norton is playing with a torn tendon in his arm. At times you'll see him making a tackle. He really literally tackles with one arm. And yet he replaced this man in the middle in the 5th game when Jimmy Johnson decided it just wasn't getting done. Nothing is more important to the 4-3 the Cowboys played in that middle linebacker spot, and they put their best linebacker in there, Ken Norton. There's a look at Charles Haley. He represents the pass rush for Dallas, and he's on the sidelines with a back injury.
3rd and 5. Eagles still seeking their first down of the game. And Brister throws, and they get that first down on a catch by Michael Young, the one-time Denver Bronco, battling back from an injury. And because of all the injuries to the Philadelphia wide receivers, they went out and they got Young and they got James Lofton. And Young, who was a 3rd down specialist for John Elway, is a 3rd down specialist for Brister here.
Not a lot of speed, but he's very good at possession type routes, where you saw a moment ago. A little break to the outside. He reads defense as well. There's James Lofton on the sidelines. He struggled a little bit in just catching the football, which is very surprising considering his career.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. The pump fake, and then the inside handoff to Vaughn Hebron, who gets it out to the 36-yard line. Nice execution on the play, but the Cowboys read it here perfectly and limit him to a gain of 2.5 to 3.
Well, the guy who really was all over that play at the line of scrimmage, who stayed home pretty effectively, was Leon Lett. And he's made a good transition. Guys played some end, back to the inside, and if you've noticed, been charting him so far this game, guys, he's in on almost every tackle. He even got all the way out towards the sidelines to make a hit on Herschel Walker on his pass reception at the start of this drive. A little atonement, I think.
2nd down and 7. And Brister going deep and incomplete, and good coverage that time by Brown on Victor Bailey.
The rookie from Missouri, Victor Bailey, was complaining to the official, but that was well played by Larry Brown. He was positioned all the way. He bought none of the action in the backfield. He just locked up, little incidental pushing and shoving. Bailey trying to get that arm away. This goes on almost every deep pattern today.
Well, Brown had the position, and it's really not his fault that the ball's on the other side of him, and Bailey has to get through him to get there. That's Just good positioning by corner. You're right.
3rd and 7, and Bubby Brister guns one over the middle into traffic and incomplete. And Brister goes down, and Bubby, who has missed a lot of time with neck and ankle injuries and is backed up by Ken O'Brien, gets up gingerly.
Well, he gets hit by Jim Jeffcoat just at the time he throws the football. I'm not so sure that it didn't take a little something off the ball. Jeffcoat coming in from his right defensive end spot. Take a look at the left side of your screen, and Jeffcoat makes contact before Bubby throws it, and that's one of the reasons that, well, the reason the ball is thrown in towards the ground.
Jeff Fiegels to kick. Kevin Williams back. 45-yard kick. And a 7-yard return, and that's Herschel Walker, number 34, making the tackle.
As Al pointed out, he volunteered for it. Well, you have to wonder about that. He used to volunteer to get off. That is noisy down there in those special teams. Ooh.
I don't say this.
Good match. Not Acura, not Mazda, not even Porsche could answer our challenge to match Firebird's standard driver and passenger airbags, standard anti-lock brakes, and 275 horsepower engine for even twice the price of this new Firebird formula. Soon other sports cars will try to close the distance, and that's okay. But that will be then. This new Firebird is now.
With the league's best record, Miami is proving to be the team to beat in the AFC, and that's just what the Steelers have in mind. Next week on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Texas Stadium is sold out. I'm always kidding about this. This is the house that Don Meredith built and Roger Staubach paid for it. And they didn't have enough. They didn't finish it. It originally was designed to have a removable roof, one that would slide back and forth, and things were a little short at the time, and they never finished it.
Makes a pretty nice shot, but you know something? It's very, very poor design. It doesn't work.
From the 27, and it's Emmitt Smith picking up one. It works a whole lot better at night than it does in the daytime.
It's a beautiful piece of architecture, but the fact of the matter is that with the hole in the roof, it rains, the field gets wet, and there is no air circulation in here whatsoever, and the field is always damp. Even when you look at it now, you see there are wet spots, and I don't know when the last time it was that it rained here in Dallas, but the field just doesn't dry out because there's no moving air in here whatsoever. For all I know, that's still left over from Thanksgiving Day.
Well, we know it doesn't work on Thanksgiving.
No moving air outside of this booth. Here's Aikman.
I beg your pardon.
We're all culpable. Michael Irvin makes his second catch of the game.
Yeah, well, Dallas scores a couple more touchdowns, and there'll be a lot of moving air in here.
Another first down for Dallas with 3:20 to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 Cowboys.
Watch the move by Irvin here. He gets Eric Allen way overcommitting to the inside of the field.
Dan, I don't know what Eric Allen was reading, something that shouldn't have been read. There was no major move to the outside. He just got caught looking in the backfield.
Well, he somehow anticipated that Irvin was going to go to the middle of the field, whether he got that from looking in the backfield or whatever.
18-yard gain on the play. Irvin again. Irvin tight ropes the sidelines and takes Allen for a ride all the way to the 33.
Well, these are great calls because they obviously are going to help Mark McMillan after the troubles he had on that first drive. So they're going to leave Eric Allen, their best cornerback, man for man with maybe as good a receiver as there is in football today. I'm not going to fight with Jerry Rice because these two are on a par. But look at that little look in. It just froze him for a moment. Aikman with perfect timing.
Yep. Well,
Aikman, time out and looked back to Irvin. The ball was in his hands.
Aikman paid for it. Andre Waters came on a safety blitz, and he jackhammers Aikman. Well, here's the bottom of your screen. Aikman was slow to get up.
From the 33-yard line, deep drop, good protection, and he shovels it to Moose Johnston. The Moose ball. To the 13-yard line goes Darrell Johnston before Thomas makes the tackle.
And the price you pay for taking away the outside receivers. You put double up on the outside. You have to worry about Novacek, the tight end. Nobody on Johnson out of the backfield. And give Aikman all the credit in the world.
Frank,
quick
not
read
only,
right there.
Not only is it the price you pay, but it's the reward for an offensive line that keeps everybody away for that period of time because everybody has run so far downfield There's nobody close to the line of scrimmage. Aikman threw that after at least 5 seconds had gone by.
First down. Emmitt Smith follows Johnston inside the 10, banged down at the 7-yard line by William Thomas.
Emmitt Smith inside the 10.
Rich Kotite took over in 1991 in his first game as the head coach of the Eagles. Randall Cunningham went down and was out for the season. Last year took him to the playoffs. They beat New Orleans and then lost here. This year 4-0, lose Cunningham and Barnett, then 6 straight losses. Rebound with a win against Washington, and right now they're down 7-0. And Dallas has it at the 7-yard line, second down and 4.
Daryl Johnston that last play with an awesome lead block. Let's see if he does it again.
Smith,
nope,
just about back to the line of scrimmage with 50 ticks left in the quarter. Simmons in on the tackle.
Talking about Richie Kotite, you kind of wish that he would sometime along the line get a normal situation. Ever since he came in and took over the Eagles, he's been in chaos there with the quarterback situation his first year, and then Randall getting hurt again this year. And will he play? Won't he play? It's been a bit of a zoo for him, and yet he's done wonders with the talent that he's had available to him.
A field goal here for the Eagles would be cause for celebration.
3rd and 4. Aikman, great protection, swings it to Emmitt Smith, and they stop him at the 6-yard line, so they will hold him to a field goal attempt. McMillan and Waters make the tackle, and the field goal attempt will come at the other end of the stadium.
I don't know, Al. They might go for a first.
Well,
they're talking it over in the sideline.
4th and about 2.5 when we come back. We'll return with the second quarter of Monday Night Football after this commercial message and a word from our ABC stations. We start the second quarter. Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf. 7-0 Cowboys. And as the second quarter begins, Eddie Murray, the longtime Lion, who played briefly with Kansas City and then with Tampa last year and came aboard the second week of this season, will attempt a 23-yard field goal. Jay Novacek to hold to try to make it 10-0. And the Pro Bowl veteran bangs it through. 3 seconds into the second quarter. It's the Cowboys 10 and the Eagles nothing. .57 to go in the half. It's 10-0, and let's take a look at the stats, and they're very one-sided. Dallas dominating the first quarter. Eagles held to simply 1 first down.
You don't need a whole lot of analysis for that.
Irvin caught a touchdown pass. Murray kicks a field goal, and now Murray to kick off with Vi Sikahema and Herschel Walker back to receive. Full house and a noisy house at Texas Stadium. 7-yard line. Herschel Walker running back his 3rd kick of the night, and it's his best run back of the trio to the 31-yard line. First and 10 there for Brister and the Eagles. 10-0 Dallas.
Hey, the Miss Perfect pageant.
Yeah.
We're watching hockey.
Pageant. Hockey.
Let's watch both.
Miller Lite presents the Miss Perfect Face-Off. Okay, Bob, Miss Georgia goes to the corner. She pays the price. Here's the puck coming loose. Nice shot. She scores!
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything.
Oh, that'll be sashing. 2 minutes for Miss Congeniality.
Bad call.
Good beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
It is an entirely new class of luxury automobile. Created.
I'm holding Bruce Smith's shoe, man. Do you know what Bruce does in these shoes, man? Bad things, man. I mean bad things. Things that I just can't possibly talk about. You know what Bruce would do if he found me messing with this shoe, man? Bad things, man.
ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Nissan. It's time to expect more from a car and the makers of Advil in tablets or caplets. Richie Kotite might need some Advil by halftime the way things are going as the Eagles try to turned it around against Dallas. They're already down 10-0. And they begin at the 31-yard line. They picked up only 1 first down in 2 possessions thus far. First and 10 at the 31-yard line. They send Maurice Johnson in motion. And Bubby Brister throws, and the catch is made by Calvin Williams, and he has a first down out of bounds at the 45-yard line of the Eagles. Ooh. And that's Larry Brown shaken up, and Larry Brown has played almost not every game this year, but just about every snap this season. So this is a very unusual sight.
And he's the guy that the Eagles, in their preparation for this game, clearly identified as the player they wanted to work against. They wanted to work his side of the field. You see that he runs off playing the zone. He knows he's got help underneath. And he kind of comes down and appears to land on the left side of his hip.
Didn't look bad at all.
No, it didn't appear to be anything that's visible, obviously that hurt him, but Brown's still down.
Larry Brown has played all but 3 snaps all season in 11 games.
It looked very routine from that angle.
They're going to move Kevin Smith over to his corner now, flip him to the other side, and bring Dave Thomas in, a rookie from Tennessee. And there is Thomas. So this is a very unusual sight because Smith and Brown, Woodson and Everett have been together and have been injury-free all year. And it worked very well as a unit.
And you can see right there that they were trying to get Larry Brown to get up, and he's showing no end, and he's going to try it now.
Well, you might like to hope that he just knocked the wind out of himself. It looked that way. He fell right on his stomach.
Local boy, played his college football in Fort Worth at TCU. And now the Eagles begin at the 46. First and 10 as Brister throws, and it's Williams, and he is taken down by Darren Woodson.
Not a whole lot of mercy in this league, is there? They found Dave Thomas, the pass pattern, immediately going to where the rookie is lined up.
But then again, they're going to give Thomas help. They've got zone coverage to that side of the field, so you see Thomas continues to drop on back and stay out of the play. This game is not lacking for emotion on parts of the teammates of both the Cowboys and the Eagles. These guys will be going at each other all night, regardless of what the score is.
Second and 2. Pump fake, and then a pass that is incomplete. Led Heath Sherman too far. It'll be third down.
Boy, you could see that coming. That's one of those deals where Darren Smith is sorry he fell down. He saw a chance to really take a shot at a guy, and I think Smith was going to relish the chance to take it. All of a sudden, Sherman went to the ground, and his target disappeared off the radar screen, I think, much to the chagrin of Darren Smith.
Here's Brown back in the game, so he only misses 2 snaps. Returns to his spotted right corner. It's third down and 2 at the 46-yard line. And Brister throws in traffic and jams it into Mark Bavaro for a first down to the 41-yard line. Mark Bavaro, who appeared to have retired in 1991 but made every start for the Eagles last year and this as well.
Coming off the line of scrimmage like the old days with the Giants. And somehow really he held onto the football. Nobody had got a hand on it.
Had a devastating knee injury. A lot of people thought that his career was over. The Giants really didn't want him to come back, thought that he had no chance of doing it. Went to Cleveland for a while, and here he is, and doesn't even wear a brace on his knee.
Here's Herschel Walker through the middle, and Walker bangs his way to the 31 and very close to a first down.
Frank, the thought of it being 1993 and watching Mark Bavaro perform at the level that he's performing is it's miraculous. It really is.
He had a bone graft. He hurt it real bad in '89, limped through '90, and then missed all of '91. And the Giants, in all honesty, they loved him. And they just thought it was in his best interest not to come back. Went to Cleveland and played there. And as Al mentioned, he's made every start the last 2 years. 29 receptions coming into tonight. That's 30.
2nd and 1, a little flip to Hebron, and he slips and falls down on the turf and is tackled at the 35. Leon Lett is there to cover him.
Well, Leon Lett gets to put one in the stat category of tackle for a loss. He was the first guy to fall on top of Hebron. But again, part of the reason Hebron was forced to the ground was because of the way the Cowboys flowed to the outside and kept containment. He really had nowhere to go and was forced to make a tough cut and slid right out. But we talked earlier and documented about the fact that this field is wet in different places, and you'll see some players slide.
3rd down and 5. Brister throws, nobody is there. Hebron the closest. It'll be 4th down at the 35-yard line.
Oh, Jeffcoat said, I thought I had a sack.
Well, Jeffcoat shoves Brister when he's down on the ground, and Bubby came up and started to go after him like, let's finish this. Brister is a tough quarterback. Jeffcoat gets him, but doesn't control him. Brister gets away far enough, and after this play, Jeffcoat gives him a little shove back into the ground out of frustration. You'll be hard-pressed to find a linebacker with more of an aggressive mentality than Bubby Brister.
So they went from 2nd and 1 to 4th and 5, and Fiegel's kick bounces into the end zone. So Dallas gets a break on that one as the ball comes out to the 20. 11:31 left in the first half. Dallas 10, Philly nothing.
Oh, my back hurts and I had a game this afternoon. So I'm taking Advil. I know I'll feel better soon. More doctors recommend Advil by name to relieve backaches than any other brand. And you know, just one Advil is as effective relieving pain as 2 regular strength Tylenol. With Advil, there's no reason to let a sore back keep me from swinging.
And for a cold, try Advil Cold and Sinus, advanced formula for the cold season.
Like the Lexus LS 400, the Nissan Altima has specially tuned shock absorbers and front and rear subframes that give it an exceptionally smooth ride. But the Altima costs less than half the money, which means you'll also have the added cushioning of a very thick wallet. Lease a specially equipped Altima GXE for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
He's in Manhattan on Wednesday, Frankfurt on Thursday, Paris, Rome, and Vienna after that. He believes it's better to do business across a table than over a fax machine. This year, he'll fly more than 100,000 miles with us because he knows nobody understands him better than we do. At Delta, when we say we love to fly and it shows, this is where it shows.
Tomorrow night on ABC, Kelly's girlfriend is back with the mob, and he can't handle it. David Caruso stars in NYPD Blue tomorrow night, right here on ABC. Troy Aikman in his 5th season, Super Bowl MVP last year. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, wants to redo Aikman's deal before the salary cap kicks in. Troy in the 3rd year of a 5-year contract. Bernie Kosar, the ex-Brown, came over, and next to Bernie is Jason Garrett, who is the emergency quarterback, number 3 on the depth chart, as Dallas takes over at the 20-yard line. Aikman back on 1st down, throws him out to Michael Irvin, who's had a big night so far with a touchdown and now his 4th catch, and McMillan makes the tackle, and he has a 1st down at the 32-yard line.
If you're a cornerback, the question is, how do you play Michael Irvin? We've documented McMillan's only 5'7", so jamming him is not easy. Irvin is such a physical receiver. The closer a cornerback gets to him, the more he likes it. So you're really betwixt and between. How big a cushion do you give him? It's not an assignment that I would really relish.
Every time they read that coverage, they're going to go to it.
Yep.
Here's Emmitt Smith picking up 2. Remember Emmitt Smith, when the season began, he was the big story. We were there for a Monday night game, as shaken up on the last play is Clyde Simmons, who's been bothered by a bum shoulder all year. But Emmitt unsigned through those first 2 games, Dallas losing both, and still in position to at least contend for a rushing title, which would be his 3rd straight.
I think Clyde Simmons, you really have to wonder how much football the Eagles are going to get out of him tonight. He didn't practice at all week long. Didn't take a single snap of practice. Got a bad back, a bad knee, and things for the Eagles just seem to be going from bad to worse.
Clyde Simmons led the league last year in sacks with 19. This year he has 3. Reggie White is gone. Simmons seeing a lot of double team. And that's one of the reasons the Colts and the Eagles are tied for last in the league in sacks.
And the Eagles have Tim Harris on their roster, who had 17 sacks a year ago, and he probably won't be back at all this season.
Another of the walking wounded.
I don't know that in a 3-hour show here we have time to document all the things that have gone wrong physically for the Eagles. And Clyde Simmons, you got to wonder if they're going to get any meaningful football out of him, even if he's able to come back in tonight.
You know, we had Dallas and Philadelphia October the 5th of a year ago, and I was just looking at my chart from that game, and there are 4 defensive starters on that field now that were on the field for Philadelphia last October the 5th when these two teams met during the regular season.
Meanwhile, Philadelphia had trouble deciding who's to be on the field with 3rd and 3 upcoming, and thus they're compelled, but Carson's unit is to take a timeout. 9:36 to go in the half.
Like the Lexus LS 400, the Nissan Altima has specially tuned shock absorbers and front and rear subframes that give it an exceptionally smooth ride. But the Altima costs less than half the money, which means you'll also have the added cushioning of a very thick wallet. Lease a specially equipped Altima GXE for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
Skill FlexiCharge cordless tools all share the same battery pack. So when you need a recharge, they keep on working. The FlexiCharge interchangeable power system from Skill.
Miller Genuine Draft. The original cold filtered draft beer in a bottle.
Downtown, Big D, sparkling night, temperature in the mid-50s, and we're a little west of the city of Dallas in Irving, Texas, where Dallas leads 10-0. One of the reasons Philly might have taken that timeout is Clyde Simmons was ready to come back into the game, and he's in there right now. It's 3rd down and 3, and they have the right people in. Dallas at the 39-yard line, 9:36 to go in the half, 10-0 Cowboys. Novacek in motion, and the Eagles jumping at the line of scrimmage. A flag is down. Smith breaking loose inside the 30, loses the football, pounces on it at the 27. Eric Allen knocked it loose, but Smith gets it back, and let's see about the penalty back at the 39.
If the players are any indication, this is going against Philadelphia, as every Eagle player has walked all the way downfield.
I think they're offside on the left side, Philadelphia. Looked like they jumped the ball a little bit.
Well, they were coming with an all-out run blitz.
Defense, number 59, offside, penalties decline. Result of the play is a first down.
Seth Joyner just a little eager, and they were coming with a run blitz. Everyone into a gap, top of your screen, 59, beats the count.
Good blocking up front by the Cowboy offensive line, and as you so often see on a short yardage play like that, if you're going to come with a blitz, once you're past that first wave, the next guy isn't for another 15 yards downfield.
34-yard scamper for him. Aikman slides to a halt at the 26. A marker is down.
We got a flag thrown by the referee. It's going to be illegal use of the hands, I think, against Dallas. And this is one of the few good things that have happened to the Eagles. They've not been able to force the Cowboys into going backwards.
Holding. Number 79 on the offense with a grab to the shoulder, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
When you see the flag being thrown by the referee, it's almost always, if it's holding, it's going to be against the right tackle, and that's what it is right here. Eric Williams, you see him working that time against Mike Flores. Looked like pretty good work. Here's Novacek trying to get downfield. Hager gets his second bump on Novacek, and when you're a Pro Bowl tight end, you get a lot of attention. You're going to get banged by everybody.
1st and 20 now, and Emmitt Smith takes the ball to the 31-yard line. Picks up 5. He's gained 69 yards tonight. He's tackled there by Andre Waters. Emmitt had that huge day, the 6th best day in the history of the National Football League on Halloween afternoon, 237. And that was the greatest day that any running back had had since Walter Payton in the mid-70s set the mark at 275.
You start knocking off 30 carries at an 8-yard average. That's a fairly productive day.
Irvin again lined up against McMillan.
2nd and let's call it 14 as Aikman throws. Michael Irvin is there, a little short of the first down. 3rd and that much.
Well, you almost hate to bring it up because you just know where they're going to go. And they're going to do it every time they see him out there alone.
Irvin a little upset with himself because he didn't pick up the first down.
But again, look at the protection. Will you look at Troy Aikman's visibility? There was not an Eagle defensive lineman within 3 yards, maybe 4 yards of Aikman.
Lau touched on it earlier. They are with Baltimore at the very, what did I say, Baltimore?
I don't, well.
We're tied for the fewest in the league in sacks with 17.
3rd and 1, and Dallas is going to take a timeout there first. 7:44 to go in the half. The Cowboys remain on top 10-0. And now it's time for our regular feature on what's new in the world of sports science and technology.
This year, both are battling to do it again. The Steelers meet the Dolphins next week on ABC's Monday Night Football.
The last time we saw Jerry Jones on camera, he was celebrating a victory against Miami, and then, what's that you say? Stoyanovich goes back out. Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner, is here. And you all know the story with Leon Lett touching a live football. Stoyanovich got the second opportunity. Miami wins the Thanksgiving Day game 16-14. Here's 3rd and 1. And Emmitt Smith picks up the first down and turns it into a 1st and goal at the 9.
Again, up there in short yardage defense, as Dan mentioned a moment ago, and so many times you pop through there, with nobody at home. They're all into the gaps on the short yardage defense, and Emmitt almost takes this to the end zone.
Really was an 8-man front for the Eagles, and they are going to pay the price for so heavily stacking the line of scrimmage if they are not any more successful. And hey, look at that. Tony Dorsett is here. The Cowboy luminaries are out tonight.
Here is Emmitt Smith taking it down to the 7-yard line. 2nd and goal with 7 minutes to go in the first half.
We saw a lot of the Cowboys at a luncheon today. Roger Staubach is here in the stadium tonight, and Tom Landry, the latest addition to the Cowboy Ring of Honor, and it's a Cowboy celebration tonight, and they're looking at this as the chance. All the players to the left of their name have their numbers. Tom Landry, what could be more identifiable with the coach than his famous hat?
And that's where it belongs.
Yep,
in the Ring of Honor.
2nd and goal at the 7. Johnston is in motion, leaving nobody in the backfield, and Aikman almost has it picked off by Brent Hager.
Good read by Hager, looking right into Aikman's eyes. Stepped right in front of the intended receiver. Novacek.
Second time tonight the Eagles had an easy interception. Eric Allen missed one before, and this one right into Hager's hands.
Novacek with a little out move. Now he breaks to the outside, and Hager had that lined up all the way.
Well, if the Eagles, if this trend continues, guys, and they lose this ball game, they're going to have a lot to think about on the way home about woulda, coulda, shoulda.
3rd and goal. Lincoln Coleman is in the game. He takes the swing pass, and Coleman gets bunched up at the 1.5. He's the rookie, the kid who played arena football, originally went to Notre Dame and then Baylor, and the crowd loves him, the big bruising fullback who came in relief of Emmitt Smith and made such a big splash on Thanksgiving Day.
He also went to high school here in Dallas, Byron Adams High School, so he's kind of a local that made it big time. This time he tries to power his way into the end zone. He attracted the crowd.
He had 57 yards last week and 10 carries. That's almost a 6-yard per carry average. And He really he got people excited down here.
Well, Eddie Murray's going to have to settle for another field goal attempt. This is even shorter than an extra point, 19 yards. And he puts it through, so the Cowboys keep marching up and down the field, but they've only gotten into the end zone once. Murray's added 6, and it's now Dallas 13, Philadelphia nothing.
There are many.
Troy Aikman's only had 3 passes picked off all season, but tonight he's had 2 that he's gotten away with. One Eric Allen should have had, and then this last one into the arms of Hager, 54.
Hager with perfect position on it, and he could have gone a long way. We were just talking while we were away that perhaps Allen early in the game in the first quarter, if you were with us, he might have even taken it for 6 points. He made a habit of that.
Yeah, he ran one back 94 against the Jets. Bud Carson and Hager going over the things as the Cowboys get ready. Tommy Agee on the kickoff team. Eddie Murray skies one inside the 5, fielded by Walker and then fumbled by Herschel. And he is stopped at the 6-yard line.
Oh boy.
Marion hits him first.
I have to hope they love a challenge. They have really hurt themselves tonight. Talked about the possible interceptions that got away, and now Herschel Walker, ordinarily very sure-handed. That's why he's back there. Bobbles this one and start deep in your own territory.
Hager getting his knee iced as the Eagles start from the 7, 5:22 to go in the half. 13-0 Dallas. Walker, nothing doing through the middle.
One of the things that the Cowboys do is move their personnel in and out defensively. They've got new defensive linemen in here now. Russell Maryland is in. Chad Hennings is in. They have a wealth of talent on defense. Dave Onstedt, the defensive coordinator last year, who now has moved on to the Chicago Bears, started it. Butch Davis there, the defensive coordinator now. And the movement of players here in Dallas continues. If you're a defensive player here, you get to play.
2nd and 8 from the 8. Walker out to the 10-yard line. Tony Tolbert following up on the point Dan was making here. There it is, the percentage of snaps played defensively, and in white are all of the defensive backs. They're in for almost everything on the field, but the rest of the guys in and out.
Linebackers are kind of peach. I like that.
And it's especially true among the defensive linemen. It's every defensive lineman on this roster gets a chance to play.
If you're an offensive lineman late in the game, you start to think, where are these people coming from?
Yeah.
3rd and 6 at the 10. The play clock is down to 2. They just get it off. And Williams makes the catch, takes it to the 21, so they keep the drive going with 3:45 remaining in the first half.
Brister threading a needle to get it in there. Williams and Bavaro were right together. I'm sure that wasn't how that thing was drawn up.
Bill Bates is really upset with himself because he slips and falls. He gets one of those wet spots and he falls down. And it was right in the area where he slipped and fell where the pass was caught by Williams.
I think he would have had a shot at it.
Yeah, he's still over there. One of the great characters and one of the hardest hitting guys ever to play in this league.
11th year out of Tennessee, plays when Dallas goes to 7 defensive backs. First down from the 21. Brister guns one incomplete, intended for Bavaro. He was wrapped up by Cam Norton.
Norton still able to make those plays with an arm that's going to require surgery, a torn tendon. And they gave him an option to finish out the season, knowing full well that it might become even much more difficult at the end of the season, the surgery. That he is still the man they consider the best at the key position in their 4-3.
2nd and 10 at the 21. 3:10 to go in the half. Brister tries the middle again. Incomplete, intended for Victor Bailey.
They're going to get Kevin Smith on going over the top there.
Flag down at the 30-yard line.
that, he was making a lot of contact with the receiver coming downfield.
We got a conference. You're right about the contact. He certainly rode him well beyond the 5-yard area you're allowed, and Smith does draw the call.
Pass interference. Number 26 defense, first down.
Smith was their first rounder a year ago. Okay, watch the contact. You only get it for 5 yards. And that goes way beyond 5 yards as he's locked up with Bailey, and then over the top. I think Smith could have been flagged for either one of the two or both.
That was an and/or.
And/or, take your pick.
9-yard penalty and an automatic first down. First and 10 at the 30. 3:06 to go in the half. 13-0 Cowboys. Intended for Bailey and behind him, and he was covered very well. Second down. Darren Woodson with the primary coverage.
Well, I think Bailey and Brister were totally on the wrong page, and then one would have to think it would be Bailey. Brister looking as if he anticipated an out by Bailey, and he didn't get it. Take a look again.
Bailey's the guy all the way at the bottom.
He'll break it to the inside. Brister, I'm sure, was looking for the out pattern.
I think it's safe to say.
Randall Cunningham is here. We will talk to Randall at halftime, an interview we taped last night, and he'll talk about his return. As Brister throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Hebron, and Brister hits the turf again. Hebron, the rookie who started out with a big bang this year, but then started to fumble. They kept him on the bench a lot, but now he's worked his way back into the lineup with some frequency.
I think another one of those fresh defensive linemen was in on the play. Jimmy Jones was chasing Brister.
Brister looking to the sidelines where the plays are being called for the second week in a row by Rich Kotite and sent into the lineup. We've had a couple of shots for you tonight by Zeke Bratkowski, but here is the shot on Brister, and hey, they keep bringing those fresh people in there. They're tough to deal with.
Third and 10, and the play clock went all the way down, but they do get it off. And Brister's throwing much too deep. The only guys back there are Cowboys, and it is incomplete. The only question was, did he have possession? And then fumbled it, but Everett lost it.
Well, that official back there was very close to ruling that he had this ball, and that was a fumble. That was... I think that the official looked at that long and hard and was going to rule that a fumble, and I'm not so sure it wasn't.
I think he started to run with it. But of course, we're going to look at it in slow motion. The official sees it full speed. I think he was going to tuck it. He was going to tuck it under his arm and take off with it.
Do you have both feet on the ground and established possession? I certainly think that Thomas Everett established possession.
Siegel's kick is shanked off the side of his foot.
Was that shanked or partially blocked?
Well, it took a wobbly spin as Kenneth Gann contends he got a hand on it. Perhaps he did. 24 yards.
I'm with you. I couldn't tell. It sure took a funny slice off to the right side like it may have been grazed. And in this age of celebration, you can't tell whether a player got it or not.
I think it was just the pressure. A lot of heat coming in on him. Rushing to get it off. You can see out of the corner of his eye, he's going to have to hurry this. If he did, if he had not have shanked it, it might have been touched.
In any event, Dallas has it in good position with 2:37 to go in the first half. They have 2 timeouts, first and 10. And Aikman begins by throwing complete. A flag is down. Harper makes the catch with Waters and Allen providing the coverage. And the flag coming down in the secondary. Howard Rowe, the referee.
Defensive pass interference. Number 21. Penalties decline. Ball is completed for first down.
Eric Allen on him. It didn't matter, caught it anyway. First down to the 36-yard line.
Well, Eric Allen, one of the fine cornerbacks in the game of pro football, a consistent Pro Bowler. But right now, the Cowboy receivers taking this group to school.
Here's the blitz. They pick it up, and Aikman still throws it away. As William Thomas came flying through, he was picked up. Irvin closes to it. 2nd down and 10. 2:15 to go in the half. Troy Aikman, and it seems like ancient history, but he underwent back surgery in June. There was some question whether he'd be ready by the middle of the season. He was ready by opening day. Then he suffered that hamstring pull against the Giants, missed a couple of games, but said before the game he's as healthy as he's been all year. Tonight, 2nd down and 10. Aikman throws, intended for Harper, and that's broken up by Mark McMillan.
Now all Mark McMillan has to worry about is the out and go. It won't be long till you'll see a deep pattern run against him. That's a pretty good play that he made there.
He makes a nice break on the football. He gives Harper a lot of cushion. He's going to be about 4 yards away from Harper right there when Harper makes his break. But Harper, kind of a soft turn there, Frank. It was not a very sharp corner by Harper, and he doesn't come back to the ball with much of an angle. And I think that more than anything allows McMillan to get back in on the ball.
3rd and 10. They run a draw to Emmitt Smith, and he can get to the 30-yard line to make it 4th down and 4 and set up about a 47-yard attempt for Ed Murray, which we'll see when we come back. We've come to the 2-minute warning. Dallas 13, Philadelphia nothing.
Let's say you're working on this difficult-to-use PC. Let's say you'd rather be working on this easy-to-use Macintosh. How do you get what you're working on from the PC into the Macintosh? Like this.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Look to us for special delivery. Call us. We'll arrange to pick you up at your home, office, or repair shop. That's special delivery. That's Enterprise.
This beer is simply unlike any beer you've ever tried in your life. It's double brewed, triple filtered, and finally...
Tired of the same old beer? Introducing new Molson Ice. Welcome to the Ice Age.
The 1994 Nissan Sentra with an airbag, cruise control, air conditioning.
Dallas has dominated this first half. 2-minute warning. A 47-yard Ed Murray field goal attempt is upcoming. Dallas has outgained Philadelphia 236-70, and yet even if Murray is successful here, it's 16-0. Dallas will have gotten into the end zone only once, and that's about as much as Philadelphia can expect after being completely outclassed and dominated through the first half of play.
And a couple of times, as we pointed out, there were opportunities for the turnover, and they just couldn't pull it off. Murray's best thus far in the year. He's 18 of 22, has been a 50-yarder, well within his range.
Murray, 14th year, went to school at Tulane. Jay Novacek to hold. 47-yard attempt. And it's good. Hooking, but staying inside the upright. Murray's kicked 3, and with 1:55 left in the half, Dallas extends its lead to 16.
This holiday.
He's become a tradition here at Texas Stadium. 16-0. The Cowboys on top. Dallas trying to snap its 2-game losing streak. Dallas 7-4 coming in. The Giants, of course, are 9-3. So Dallas trying to keep pace with the Giants. And if Dallas were to win all of its games, they'd win the division because they play the Giants on the final day of the season, and they hold the tiebreaker advantage if the two teams wind up with the same records by virtue of their having beaten New York twice. Murray sends it to the 5. Sekahema, his first run back of the night. He takes it out to the 23-yard line. Next week we've got a good one, a real good one. To Miami we go. Joe Robbie Stadium's the site. The Pittsburgh Steelers holding on yesterday to beat New England and in contention in that very tight AFC Central race against the amazing Dolphins. Despite the loss yesterday, they and Kansas City have the best records in the AFC, 9-3. Next Monday, Pittsburgh, Miami, our attraction. At the half tonight, we'll talk to Randall Cunningham about his immediate future, and Jerry Richardson, who's the head man at Charlotte, Wayne Weaver, Jacksonville, the two new owners, the primary owners, visiting with us live. First down, Brister from the 23-yard line throws, and the catch is made by James Lofton, his first of the night, up to the 33-yard line. Long-time Packer, then to the Raiders, then to the Buffalo Bills, started this year with the Rams, and now playing with his 15.
Now needs 36 to reach 14,000 receptions. Wow. Or yards, rather. He's getting close.
All-time NFL leader in receiving yardage at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Brister throws over the middle. This time the catch is made by Victor Bailey at the 40-yard line. The Eagles have 2 timeouts remaining.
You think of Lofton reaching 14,000 yards, you just have to wonder how many knockdowns that would be over 16 years. Remarkable career.
2nd and 3 from the 41-yard line. 4-man rush. Brister throws. Catch is made. Lofton again. He has it out at the 49. That's a first down. Eagles conserving their timeouts.
Darren Smith defending. Struck the ball at the Philadelphia 48-yard line. 1st and 10 Eagles.
Clock down to a minute. Brister throwing this time to Michael Young, his 2nd catch of the night, to the 38. He didn't get out of bounds, so the clock's still rolling. Richie Kotite looks up at that clock. He's got 2 timeouts and elects again not to use one here.
Boy, and Young was right on the sidelines. He could have easily just stepped out. He made a conscious decision to stay in bounds and cost his team a lot of time.
And that'll stop the clock. Contact is made. Flags down. Who did it?
I think we saw a flinch on both sides. The Cowboys started to move. The Eagles on the left side of their offensive line and Brister almost moved simultaneously.
Bubby started to pull away from the center.
There. This one is
complex.
This one is complex. This is tough to call.
Prior to the snap, we got a false start on number 78 offense. We're going to warn the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, the warning is you can't flinch defensively. You can't come across the line of scrimmage if your intent is to draw the offensive team into some sort of a false start. They actually flagged Anton Davis, the right tackle, for the Eagles. Of course, that warning I don't think is taken all that seriously by the defensive team. There's Davis, first rounder back in '91, who has really blossomed into a fine offensive tackle. All 325 pounds of Anton.
1st and 15 at the 43-yard line. Brister buying time, and nobody is there. He was out of the pocket, so it doesn't matter. You can ground it. Once you're out of the pocket, you can throw it anywhere. 28 seconds remaining. The Eagles' first team in the history of the league to start a season with a 4-game winning streak and then lose 6 consecutive games. In fact, no team had ever started with 4 wins and lost as many as 5 in a row. And you can attribute a lot of that to Randall Cunningham, losing Barnett, but they're still right there. Tonight's game is critical, of course, but there they are, still in contention for at least a wild card berth. 2nd down and 15. Brister throws. Young makes the catch, but it's a minimal gain. Tackle is made by Kenneth Gant. Brister is down again, and the Eagles are going to take a timeout, and they have 1 remaining. And a marker is down again. And it appears to be against Philadelphia. Jimmy Johnson saying, let's take that penalty. Get him as far out of field goal range as we can.
Illegal hands. On the offense, hands to the face, number 78. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Davis again.
Antone once again. We talked about the few sacks that Philadelphia has been able to get in the course of the year. Let's take a look at Antone Davis again. Bottom of your screen. Hands to the face. Pretty obvious there. Right in the chops. Going up against Tony Tolbert. But the Cowboys themselves only have 21 sacks coming into the night. They're getting a lot of pressure, but they're not getting the sacks that they had a year ago. Charles Haley, as we told you earlier, their key pass rusher is gone, perhaps even for the season, with a back injury. So they have been struggling themselves to get sacks.
2nd and 25. Brister throws, and the catch is made, but inbounds again. This time it's Young, and the Eagles are going to have to use their last time out here. At the 39-yard line, it's going to be 3rd down, and they're going to have to complete a pass, get out of bounds, and hope to set up a field goal attempt.
Do you dream in color? In bottomless blues and screaming yellows? In sounds that shake you to the bottom of your heart? In images clear as crystal and brilliant as ice? In faraway worlds as close as your fingertips? These are what dreams and Sony Trinitron televisions are made of. Make one come true for you. It's your life. Isn't it worth a Sony?
As we come back, the Eagles have 1 timeout left. What they had done is they were ready to take a timeout, but that was the play on which the penalty was assessed against Davis. The penalty took precedence over the timeout call. They didn't have to call a timeout, so they were able to conserve that as you look at Randall Cunningham, and they do have 1 remaining with a 3rd and 12 upcoming at the 39-yard line.
3rd down, 11, ball at the 39-yard line. Double territory.
Matt Barr is their field goal kicker. And they'd like to pick up at least 12 to 15 yards here to feel relatively comfortable. Brister throws over the middle and almost intercepted by James Washington.
Oh, and he might have been gone.
He's making the run anyway. Washington runs all the way down to the 25-yard line. Yeah, it's good for a laugh, Charles, when you're up 16-0, but this could have been 23-0.
Washington looking right in the eyes of Brister all the way, just laying in that zone defense.
Look at Leon. Leon Lett almost slaps him going, what are you doing making a mistake like that?
So it's 4th and 12, 8 seconds left. Too far for a Barr field goal. They either have to go for a touchdown or they still have to convert a 1st down and then call a quick timeout. And over the middle, the catch is made by Williams. Now they've got to call a timeout, and they are not able to call it as the clock ticks down to 3 zeros. But let's see.
They may give this back to him.
Let's see. Let's see.
I heard a whistle. I heard a whistle blowing when the clock was still showing time.
Well, Howard Rowe ran down the field, the referee, and said timeout was called. They are going to put a second back on the clock, and Barr will come out to attempt a field goal.
Yeah. You could hear the whistle blowing when there was still a second left on the clock.
Absolutely.
All right, let's watch this. Can we hear the audio?
Well, you still have to call the timeout here.
Still got to call the timeout, but that's taking place back upfield.
Right.
Don't pay any attention to this official right here. All Brister had to do was turn to the referee, clear back upfield, and take the timeout.
Which is what he did, and that's why Rowe ran down the field and said, put a second back, and Jimmy's saying it was all zeros, and Rowe said, no, it wasn't.
Well, I could hear the whistle blowing. I could hear the whistle blowing when it still showed 1 second on the clock.
It takes a little courage to put that second back on here at Texas Stadium.
It may have taken a little courage, but it was the right thing to do.
No question.
Here's Barr now. This is a 35-yard field goal attempt. Jeff Fiegels will do the holding.
Williams could have saved everybody a lot of trouble by just dropping to the ground.
And it is no good after all that. But a flag is down at the 20-yard line.
Well, who's this penalty going to be on?
Just pray it's not Leon Lett.
One thing about it, Field goals have become exciting here in Dallas.
Yes, they have.
Home of the multiple field goal.
We've got a personal foul on the defense.
Whoa.
Number 51, a leaping foul. First down.
Ken Norton.
A leaping foul. Well, you're not allowed to get aid from a teammate in jumping up trying to block a field goal. You can't put your foot on a teammate.
You can't run up a teammate's back. I think that's what Ken was doing.
And you can't run towards the line of scrimmage and then leap to try to block a field goal. You must do it from the position where you started. In other words, you're allowed to jump as high as you can, but you have to be standing in one spot to do it.
So here's Barr again, as was the case with Stojanovic. Another chance, a shorter chance. Watch 51. Yeah. Here he comes.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. That is, you've got to be on the line of scrimmage and jump from there. You can't start a couple of yards back and run. That rule was to put in to prevent you from hurting somebody when you landed on them, or to hurt yourself by landing awkwardly.
Now it's a 25-yard attempt for Barr. And this one
he hit the upright.
The upright, but goes through. He got the carry. He got the carry. And Philly gets on the board as the teams go to the locker room at the half. At halftime, it is Dallas 16, Philadelphia 3. And we'll return with halftime activities after this message from the National Football League and a word from our ABC stations. A mini doink.
That's just a doink.
The National Football League salutes teachers across the nation through its Teacher of the Year program.
He helped me understand that my athletic ability was not going to last a lifetime, so he really stressed education. He said a solid education will be your foundation for life.
Each month, the NFL salutes a teacher who had a positive influence on the overall development of an NFL player. This month, the NFL salutes Mrs. Woody Freeman, nominated by Anton Davis of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Teachers are role models each and every day, and that's why I worked hard to get my teaching certificate to be a teacher.
She helped me both academically, socially, and as a friend to grow and gain confidence.
It's just hard for me to think now how she gave that much, you know, when she didn't have to. She really didn't have to. And I can never thank her enough.
Athletes are not the only role models. Teachers can be role models, too.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Wednesday, Barbara Walters ends the year with her most spectacular show ever.
Do you now ever yearn for prime time?
Like I don't have enough headaches. With NBA and rap star Shaquille O'Neal.
We as athletes need to stay out of trouble.
And Grammy winner K.D. Lang.
Coming out was definitely more important to me than my career.
It's the kind of talk only Barbara can get.
When the gas runs out of this one, I'm gone.
Barbara Walters talks to the 12 most fascinating people of 1993, Wednesday.
Get Grandma and Grandpa for Christmas. How about a PC with CD-ROM from H.H. Gregg? Grandma said Grandpa needed more memory.
Well, you can make this a Christmas to remember at H.H. Gregg with a Zenith 19-inch color TV, cable-ready with new simple remote, now only $188.
Okay, how about Prologic surround sound? They understand Prologic. Nah.
H.H. Gregg's Christmas sale. Holiday savings everybody understands.
One day, the Brewenites sent
Brought to you by Lexus, maker of the 1994 ES. Improved, revised, refined. In a word, new. Here now, Frank Gifford.
Halftime, Texas Stadium, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. In a moment, I'll be talking to the newest owners in the National Football League, the owners from Jacksonville and Charlotte, the two new entries in the NFL. But first, without a question, the one player who could have made a tremendous difference in the Eagles' season this year is quarterback Randall Cunningham. The Eagles got off to a 4-0 start, and unfortunately, Randall went down in that fourth game with a broken leg. They have lost 6 of their last 7 games, and Eagles fans are asking the question, when will Randall return? Al spoke with him last night.
When I got injured, I said to myself, you know, I never get injured. And then all of a sudden, these fluke injuries come. I said, maybe that's a sign God wants me to retire. So I was going to make a decision whether or not to retire the following day. Well, the game was still going on, and Eric Allen came and picked the pass off, ran it back 94 yards, and he handed me the ball, and tears came to my eyes. And right there, I made my mind up that I'm not retiring until I get kicked out of football.
Is there a difference in the way you miss football now as opposed to the way it was in 1991 when for the first time in your career you suffered a serious injury?
Yeah, in 1991 I was frustrated, but I think I was content because I knew I couldn't come back and play. Knowing that I can come back and play now gives me that anxiety to get back out there. But at the same time, people keep telling me, don't rush yourself, don't rush yourself. Well, I'm not going to rush myself, but when I know that I'm at the peak, that I know that I can perform without rushing myself, that's when I want to be back in there playing.
If the Eagles are out of playoff contention by the time you are ready to come back, will you play or will you sit out the rest of the season and worry about 1994?
I love football. I can't sit out. That would hurt worse than watching the team lose games. I don't want to sit out. I want to play. I want to get in there and do what I can do and feel comfortable and back in the jail, because I don't like being away from the guys, but I think that sometimes you need to get your mind straight to be prepared to handle a lot of negative things that might come along with the injury.
You, of course, have made your mark doing things that other quarterbacks can't do, but now you're 30. Are you confident you can do all of the things you used to do when you're ready to play again?
What people tell me is that, oh, he's getting older. Come on, Phil Simms, 38 years old. Look at DeBerg, what is he, 39 or 40 years old? I'm a young guy who runs all the time. So, I mean, one year I got hurt, another year I got hurt. They're fluke injuries, but that means that I didn't have to take all the beating the whole year long. I didn't have to take the beating this year. I think it should add to your career rather than taking away, and that's the way that I look at it. So when I come back, I'm going to come back with the same style. I'm not changing anything.
A number of people have looked at the Eagles over the past couple of years. They see Keith Jackson not getting signed, becoming a free agent, going to Miami. Keith Byers going to Miami. Reggie White to Green Bay. And now, of course, there's talk about Clyde Simmons and Seth Joyner going elsewhere next year. Are you convinced this team is committed enough to satisfy you to winning?
Norman Bremen is building this team up in the way he wants it done, and we came out of the blocks hot. Unfortunately, a few of us got hurt, and now we're not doing as well, but I think that as long as we keep on the right mold, this is the style team I want to play with. And then all the new younger players who sort of look up to us as older players to get the job done. There's a lot of respect there. And I think that's what we might have been lacking in the past, is everybody respecting each other. But now we have that respect, and it's going to help us win.
They can't speak, but still, they can tell us a lot. At Lexus, we're using advanced crash dummies equipped with a dozen computerized sensors, all to learn more about what happens in an accident. We're rather proud of our dummies. The better the dummy, the better the car.
Wednesday, Tim's oldest boy is in trouble.
Brad, what's going on in your head?
Looks to me like the hamster fell off the wheel. Home improvement. Then, will Grace's job keep her from her little girl's first play?
Of course, that's one of the problems with women in the workplace.
Women have to work.
Women have to be mothers.
So what's your solution, Rush?
Grace under fire after home improvement Wednesday.
We're back at halftime. The Cowboys over the Eagles 16-3. And joining me now in our booth, the two newest members, the only representing the ownership of the two newest NFL franchises. On my left is Wayne Weaver, and he will be representing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And on my right, Jerry Richardson, who the Carolina Panthers. And, of course, Jerry and I go back a long way. Jerry, since you're the senior member of this group, I'll let you tell me a little first. What was the initial reaction? You guys were upset winners. What was the initial reaction when you were awarded the franchise?
Well, the first thing I like to think we weren't upset winners, but at any rate, the reaction was incredible. It's just enormous for the Carolinas. We had 10 million people that are so happy they can't stand it, and I think it's just been far exceeded our greatest expectations.
And the logo itself, the Panther, that came from the fans?
No, actually, this was something that we liked, and NFL Properties designed this for us, and they did a great job.
I'm having a tough time with you, Jerry, but it goes back to 1959 when Jerry and I played in the NFL Championship. He was with Baltimore, and I was with the Giants, and you remember the score. I forgot it.
31-16, and I remember you scored and I scored.
We'd scored not often enough. Johnny Unitas, I recall, through yours.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jerry. And Wayne, you have to be more than pleased with the franchise. How about the reaction when in the Carolinas when you came up with it?
Our community, Frank, is just incredible. We had 25,000 people on a miserable night show up last Wednesday night at the Gator Bowl to welcome us back. It's pandemonium in Jacksonville. And it's a great thing. It's going to be a great new era of social and economic growth for Jacksonville.
When you get around to thinking about management, coaches, general manager, where do you begin?
Well, I think we start with the general manager and help him, let him help us put the football piece together in our operation.
Leak a little something tonight? Anyone in mind?
No, we don't quite have a short list yet, but we've got plenty of people in mind.
How about you, Jerry? Anyone specific in mind?
Yeah, Mike McCormick has been with us since 1989. He'll be our general manager.
And how about coaching? Anyone there?
We have some ideas about that, but we aren't going to talk about that right now, other than say we have some ideas.
Okay, gentlemen, I want to congratulate you both. It's going to be, I think, great for the NFL and certainly great for your two communities. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Frank.
Jerry, thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay, and we'll be returning for the second half. Texas Stadium, the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys are getting it on. The Cowboys over the Eagles 16-3.
The Tahitian Islands welcomed over 100,000 vacationers last year. Not one of them, however, was a Lexus engineer. Why? Let's just say they were busy. The 1994 Lexus ES, improved, revised, refined, in a word, new.
The Lexus Halftime Report has been brought to you by Lexus, maker of the 1994 ES. Improved, revised, refined. In a word, new. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this from our ABC stations.
I'm your new best friend.
A cop is caught between the mob and the law.
You're trying to get clean by doing something dirty.
And Kelly can't let go.
You're my lover, and I don't want to get you involved.
What if that's unacceptable to me?
NYPD Blue, Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised. Thursday.
You know what they say about the sins of the father?
Did Matlock's father leave him a legacy of murder?
My father never killed anybody.
No, Ben has to solve the crimes of 2 generations.
You can tell me. I mean, who am I going to tell?
A special 2-hour Matlock, The Legacy, Thursday.
This is a WRTV 6 News update.
Good evening. 6 News has learned that Central Hardware Stores will close all 5 of its Indianapolis stores and employees will lose their jobs. A Supreme Court decision allows the Boy Scouts to ban those who do not want to pledge duty to God. And controversy at the city-county building over Christmas and religion. Will there be a Christmas tree? We'll see what the decision is. Bob has tonight's Christmas lights, plus how cold will it be overnight? We'll see you right after the game.
Good morning, Pearsonville Hubcaps.
Something they need.
It's time to find some sun. No time for work, just fun. So it's ATA again. Yeah, on ATA, you're on vacation.
ATA flies nonstop to more vacation destinations than anyone, including 5 Florida cities, Cancun, the Caribbean, and Las Vegas.
On ATA, you're on vacation. On ATA.
This holiday edition of $46 value for $38.50. Exclusively at LS Airs.
A skilled surgeon who saves children's lives. Watch Inside Edition.
Matt Barr, who ended the first half with a field goal to make it 16-3, kicks off as we start the second half of Texas Stadium. Dallas up by 13, and Barr's kick is into the end zone. Kevin Williams takes it there, and he is told by Kenneth Gann to keep it there. And they begin at the 20-yard line. So a controversial ending to the first half. First, the leaping penalty to Ken Norton. Then the field goal attempt coming after Jimmy Johnson felt the time had expired. Howard Rose said no, there was a second left, and then Barr hits the upright and gets the carom. And we will see how it plays out. 16-3 as the Cowboys take over the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Roy Aikman begins with a little toss back to Emmitt Smith. Smith to the 22-yard line. Meanwhile, let's take a look and listen to the whistle now with Bubby Brister completing the pass. And then Calvin Williams getting tackled. And you can see there's a second left on the clock. The whistle. And then Brister simultaneously calling for timeout. Rose said, "You've got it," with 1 second, even though the clock had gone down to all zeros. And it winds up with 3 points for the Eagles. 2nd down and 8 now. Emmitt Smith has gained 90 yards tonight on 15 carries. And Aikman flips it to Emmitt. And he's out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He's forced out there after a gain of 3 by William Thomas. It'll be 3rd down and let's call it 4. ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by the all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it is and more. Magnavox, the ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart. And Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. 3rd and 5 at the 25. 3rd quarter just underway. Cowboys on top 16-3. Aikman protected well, and the catch is made by Williams, but a minimal gain short of the first. McMillan's tackle flagged down, however. Flagged down to the 23. It's against Dallas. It'll be declined, and the Cowboys will be forced to punt.
I'm sure Jimmy Johnson is not altogether too happy with what's happening.
Holding.
Even though they have that lead.
Number 53 offense. Penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
They had an opportunity to put this game away early, and all of a sudden they find themselves in their first series kicking from inside or close to their 25-yard line, and Philadelphia should get pretty good field position out of it.
John Jett for his first punt of the night by Sikahema, who has run back a few punts in his career, stands at the 30-yard line. Jett averaging 42.3. .49-yard punt, and Sikahema brings it back to the 34-yard line. Godfrey Miles in on the tackle. Elvis Patterson slow to get up. 49-yard kick and a 9-yard run back.
So Sikahema, he's having a difficult time.
That punt return there, tying the NFL record most punt returns, and he shares that for the moment with Billy White Shoes Johnson.
I don't know that there's anything in the league more physically demanding than running back punts.
More explosive.
Finally, there's a TV that proves technology can make our lives easier. A Magnavox TV with a precise color picture, smart windows which preview other channels, and the unique smart sound feature, which ensures your volume will stay at normal levels no matter what comes on. Magnavox is so smart, I didn't even have to show up for this commercial. Commercial. How'd I do?
Great. You were great. The innovative TVs from Magnavox. Smart, very smart.
Bud Light is rocking the nation.
Reno, Nevada, Bud Light.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Rockford, Illinois.
Bud Light's the best.
Cool.
Way cool. Yeah.
Where do I drink my Bud Light?
Las Vegas, Nevada. Tallahassee, Florida.
Santa Barbara, California.
Bud Light, yeehaw!
It's the essence of our being. I guarantee.
I got a line on you.
If you're watching your money closely, you'll like what you see in the new Ford Escort. You'll like the fact that it's priced thousands less than the leading imports, that it has a level of quality that helps bring it more repeat buyers than any other small car, and the fact that you can get any one of these highly equipped Escorts
for the same low price. Ford Escort. When it comes to quality and value, it's right on the money.
Sunday, Chevy Chase drops in for the holidays.
I was just browsing.
Chevy Chase in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, part of a whole weekend of holiday fun Sunday.
For the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the best starting position they have had tonight. They begin at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Dallas up 16-3. Dallas 7-4 coming in. The Eagles 5-6. Contact, movement.
Tony Casillas was the Dallas Cowboy who came over and made contact.
Prior to the snap, we got a head bob on a quarterback, false start. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Well, it's a penalty the quarterback doesn't get nailed with very often, but it was a discernible head movement by Brister. But again, quarterbacks get an awful lot of leeway in this league with how much they can hunch their shoulders. There's the downward movement of the head. Casillas comes across, makes contact, and one of the few times the quarterback is made to ante up.
I think it's the consistency with which you do it. You can't go a few downs and not do it and come up with it.
1st and 15. And the catch is made by Bavaro, and he is rolled out of bounds by Dixon Edwards at the 39-yard line. Norman Brayman, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles. We touched on it in the Cunningham interview. A lot of people felt that the Eagles were being dismantled in a San Diego Padre type of situation, but Brayman said that's not at all what I'm doing. Hey, we got the salary cap to worry about and all of that, but we're bringing these other people in, and I am committed to winning. There is Cunningham, and as he mentioned before, he hopes to be back in a couple of weeks. 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line. Keith Sherman.
And I think the fact, guys, that the Eagles are still in it going into tonight's ball game at this stage of the season is really a statement that there is talent on this football team, that there is a good nucleus of a football team, even with all the injuries that have happened. Take a look at this. This is in the first 4 games. These are the lowest contributions they had. 20 points was the least they had done. 303 yards in offense. The last 7 games, these are the highest. They've scored no more than 17 points, nor have they gained more than 299 yards in 7 games. A real marked difference before and after Randall.
3rd and 5, fake inside give, flip out to Walker. Dallas snows the play out beautifully. Stop him, 4th down. Gant makes the hit.
That fooled absolutely no one. Dallas sits in that zone defense. That's a tough play to run against them. They're not people that go for a lot of fakes inside. They have a lot of speed, but they sit on that outside zone, and you're going to run that play right into it.
Prior to the snap, we got the layup game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
That's a break for the Eagles.
Yeah.
The play never happened. So at least they get the down over.
It's funny. Didn't see a flag, didn't hear a whistle, nothing. All of a sudden, out of nowhere.
Maybe they asked for it and got it.
3rd and 10 at the 35-yard line. Whoa. He gets sandwiched, does Brister, and then the pass is incomplete.
And I don't know that Bubby's going to hop up here.
He was really good.
Oh, boy.
Tolbert and Jeffcoat.
Here he comes. This guy's tough.
Well, last week, Carl Banks either dislocated his finger or jammed his hand. Brister wasn't even sure himself. He didn't even take a timeout. He came back and led him on a touchdown drive to win the game.
Nobody even touching Tolbert, and
tell you what, Bubby caught a break there. Looked like Jeffcoat and Tolbert hit each other more than they hit Brister.
Fiegels with a kick. 44-yarder fumbled by Edwards, but he recovers it, or by Williams, and he brings it back to the 25-yard line. Kevin Williams, who's been prone to fumbling this season, but this time he recovers himself with 11:34 to go in the 3rd.
Oh, this is a great play, too, to concentrate on that ball and come up with it.
Yeah.
Introducing the all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it was, and more.
What's IBM doing for customers these days? Ask Nordic Track.
We get orders 24 hours a day, so our systems have to be up all the time. IBM makes sure they are.
Ask Callaway Golf.
IBM computers helped us start growing. Now their consultants help us manage our growth.
Ask Nike.
We wanted a laptop on the leading edge of technology. IBM delivered with a ThinkPad.
You want people who really help you? Talk to us. There's never been a better time to do business with IBM.
Braun Flex Control. The first electric shaver with a pivoting head. It automatically adjusts to every contour of your face. Flex Control from Braun. Braun, the last word in shavers.
What would you have if you took a taste just like White Zinfandel and added the dazzle of champagne? You'd have something even better than White Zinfandel. You'd have the delicious new taste of Eden Rock Brut Rosé. The dazzling new taste in champagne.
With the league's best record, Miami is proving to be the team to beat in the AFC, and that's just what the Steelers have in mind. Next week on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Rich Kotite consistently has been saying that William Perry has done everything they've asked of him, that his weight is below his assigned weight. He comes in every morning, does an hour on the Stairmaster, said he's in good shape.
Looks like he's
got him for waivers.
Dick Butkus' neck brace.
Of course, I assume that it's a different Stairmaster every day. I'm not sure the same machine could take an hour of William on a daily basis.
Holding penalty on James Washington on the run back. Thus Dallas starts from its 14. And Alvin Harper gets into a jump ball with McMillan, and it's incomplete.
That's the one we thought we would saw earlier on when McMillan made a good play on Harper on an outplay. We knew it wouldn't be long before they'd come back.
Well, give McMillan credit.
McMillan was
beautiful.
McMillan was probably aware of that too. He certainly was told that.
Gives away 8 inches here.
And look at the coverage. Look at the coverage.
Well, you're talking about a 7-foot high jumper there going up. Harper.
Yep. No, that's called playing big.
2nd and 10. Emmitt Smith closing in on 100 yards for the night. Up to the 16-yard line. We have 11:20 to play, third quarter. Dallas leading 16-3. Dominating statistically, but the only touchdown tonight, Aikman to Irvin early. 3 Murray field goals and then a Barr field goal for Philly at the end of the half, and a 13-point lead. 3rd and 9 at the 16-yard line. Aikman flushed down, loses the football. Philly has it. A huge break for the Eagles at the 6-yard line. John Roper winds up with the football.
Philadelphia with the safety blitz, with the deal, the line of scrimmage. Actually, Aikman had time to get rid of the ball. He just couldn't find the receiver. There was good coverage on the blitz, and he had to try to eat it, and it was stripped out.
Well, this is a Dallas offensive team that looks like they stayed in the locker room at halftime. A lot of people getting in there on top of him. Andy Harmon, the first one in, who comes in and gets on his legs. And the ball just hops right over to Roper. But Aikman was having to make something happen here, make something out of nothing.
Simmons got the hand in and knock it free.
So it's 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. And this is Heath Sherman. They like to use him in short yardage situations. He gets about half the distance. It'll be 2nd and goal. The Eagles have been very good, extremely successful in 1st and goal situations this year. There it is. 92%, 12 out of 13 on 1st and goal, highest in the league. They know how to get the ball into the end zone.
But you think about it, 13 1st and goals through 11 games is not all that much.
They haven't been here very often. Second and goal. Fake to Sherman. Brister throws into the end zone. The catch is made. Touchdown, Mark Bavaro.
Good fake by Brister. Good move by Bavaro to get off the line of scrimmage.
And this guy knows that all of a sudden, if we have a successful extra point, his team is less than a touchdown ahead.
Bavaro with the little move as if he's going to block on the play fake, and he is wide open back of the end zone. Very bright. Mark Bavaro, he goes right back to the end line. Brister finds him.
Well, somebody had to get upfield and disrupt Bubby. Either make him pull up short, go wider than he wanted to go, throw over somebody, around somebody. There was nobody anywhere near Brister. Gave him the entire field of vision, and he finds Bavaro.
Barr for the point after. It's 16-10.
Where do I drink my Bud Light?
10 minutes to go, third quarter. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, and Dan Dierdorf. All of a sudden, a very competitive game. It was 16-0 Dallas, and it could have been a lot worse than that score indicates. Now it is 16-10. And Matt Bard has sent it down to the Cowboys. A bouncing, spinning kick that is fielded by Williams at the 12. Goodbye. And Kevin Williams gets taken down by Mike Cholinsky, the rookie from UCLA, saving not necessarily a touchdown, but he would have had maybe 15 or 20 more. And he's tackled at the 37. Well, Doak Walker was a great running back at SMU. There he is on the right, and they give what is known as the Doak Walker Award to the top running back in college football. And Byron Van Morris, who goes to school at Texas Tech, he's a junior, won the award and was honored before this big crowd at halftime tonight at Texas Stadium in Irving.
Doak Walker. Yep, moves out Steamboat Springs now.
1st and 10, Dallas at the 37-yard line. And they give the ball to Lincoln Coleman, and he picks up about 4. You know, there's a tremendous irony here. John Roper, who recovered that fumble before, he's the guy. He's been with the Bears. Then he was traded to Dallas in preseason. You might remember the story. He fell asleep in a meeting, and Jimmy Johnson said, "You're out of here." Well, he just woke Jimmy up.
Well, somebody ought to wake up the Dallas offense. You stop and think about the things that could have gone wrong for this club tonight, but in a sense has gone right after this play.
And this is Coleman again. Whoa, lost the football, but after he was down.
Just think of this now. We're looking at a 16-10 ball game in a crippled Eagle squad. Troy Aikman has thrown 2 balls that should have been intercepted. Emmitt Smith, running in the open field, has the ball knocked loose by Eric Allen. It bounces right back to him. And on the last series, we see Williams muff a punt, and the ball bounces right back to him. There are 4 possible turnovers for the Dallas Cowboys that did not happen. They retained possession all 4 times, and even so, they still are only leading by 6 points. And not a strong performance by the Cowboys to this point tonight.
Here comes the blitz. Flags are down. Play is dead.
We talked earlier about shifting gears, that this being December, and if the Cowboys are to make a stretch run to get into the playoffs in good shape, that this is where it starts.
Prior to the snap, we got a false start on number 84 offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
And a lot of people, Dallas Cowboy fans, are waiting to see that kick start, waiting to see that noticeable shift in the quality of their play on the field. And I'll bet you a lot of them are a little concerned, Frank, that they haven't seen it yet.
Well, there's a mistake there you wouldn't expect the Cowboys to make. The Eagles showing a blitz, movement on the part of Novacek, the tight end. He was setting up the block. They get the penalty.
3rd and 9. Aikman, boy, the secondary did a wonderful job. He has to slide to a halt at the 39. No gain. They'll punt again.
And hear the murmur in the crowd?
Yep.
In fact, that's more than a murmur. A few thousand people here booing and expressing a little displeasure.
Secondary doing an excellent job, Alan. Part of it being that they kept it back in, they kept the tight end in to protect quarterback Troy Aikman, and they had good coverage downfield.
38-yard line. Vi Sikahema, his next run back, will break the record. Most punt returns in National Football League history. So you're looking at a little history as Sikahema takes it in at the 13-yard line. And a not particularly memorable run back as he brings it back to the 17, and Godfrey Miles makes the tackle. 49-yard kick, minimal return, 7:42 remaining in the third. The Philadelphia Eagles hanging in, and all of a sudden very much back in the game. They were down 16-0, got a field goal at the end of the first half, a fumble, a recovery, and a touchdown at 16-10, and they have the ball now at their own 17-yard line. 1st and 10. 7:42 left, third quarter. Crowd imploring the Cowboys to get with it. Herschel Walker picks up 3 to the 20. 2nd and 7. You know, we put up that graphic before indicating Walker, the only man in the history of the league to gain 1,500 or more yards with 3 different teams. And then you go back to the USFL. He spent those years, those 3 seasons with New Jersey, and gained over 5,000 yards there. Had he spent his entire career in the NFL, he'd be right up there 3rd or 4th all time in rushing yardage. 2nd and 7. Here's Walker making the catch, and Walker is out of bounds at the 23, and there's a marker down at the 29.
Pass complete to Herschel Walker.
Marker downfield, and I think one of the Cowboys just absolutely bulldogged one of the Philadelphia receivers.
That's holding against Dallas, and it's going to be an automatic first down.
Sometimes when you're a defensive back and you make a wrong read and the receiver's about to go by you, you just can't resist.
Holding. Defense number 26. 5-yard penalty. First down.
If you think that you're going to be beaten for a touchdown at this stage of the field, it's a smart play. And Kevin Smith, watch this. This is not one of those where you really had to say to yourself, did he or didn't he?
Victor Bailey, the rookie out of Missouri. Kevin Smith just flew to the surface.
No gray area there.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Brister guns one to Bavaro. The tight end makes the catch and gets wrestled down. Forward progress out to the 31 for a mark. 2nd and 4 upcoming. And one of the Eagles slow to get up. That is Brian Baldinger.
They are hurting at offensive left tackle. Baldinger, who is really a utility offensive lineman, plays all positions, has been part of the constant adjustment they've had to make on that offensive line with injuries all season long.
There's Ron Hallstrom, who probably is next in line if he has to replace Baldinger.
Thompson went down 5 weeks ago, the free agent they got from San Diego, whether they made a trade for San Diego for Broderick Thompson. He's unavailable.
Yeah. Baldinger was over on the left side and really just extended himself trying to block Jim Jeffcoat. And take a look at, there's Jeffcoat right in the middle of your screen, and that's Baldinger on the left. He just goes after him. For the life of me, I can't see what happened unless he just pulled a muscle or something popped when he tried to stretch out and extend. And he's not limping too badly as he comes off. Maybe he'll be able to come back in.
They're going to send Tom McHale into the game. Number 68 to replace him.
You could almost see him say something popped.
This is an offensive line that already has a rookie starting. Lester Holmes, their #1 draft choice at right guard, number 73.
2nd and 2, and Heath Sherman has room. And a first down up to the 46-yard line. Darren Smith and Ken Norton make the tackle.
And these guys just won't go away. The Philadelphia Eagles, even on this drive, saddled with bad field position as this drive starts all the way back around their 17-yard line, have somehow moved the ball out to the 46. And the crowd, as you can hear, a little anxiety as they try to get their guys fired up.
That was their first rushing first down tonight. 5:35 left in the third, and Brister has to take a timeout. Had a man in motion, looked at the Cowboy defense, and Kotite says, give me a timeout here.
There's something I think we've seen an awful lot of this year. The quarterback under center, and for whatever reason, forced to call that timeout. Most of it is because they have gone from 45 seconds between plays down to 40, and that really has caused a problem if you are a team that substitutes a great deal plus uses multiple formations in motion.
Or after a big play. We've seen so much of that.
That's a big 5-second differential. And boy, haven't we seen it a lot this year where the quarterback is under center, somebody's in motion, and he's forced to come up out of there and take that timeout.
I would think that's one of the things they'll be talking about in the offseason at the owners' meeting amongst the competition committee. Because it is getting to the point where there might be a little concern that it's getting tougher and tougher to score, and that might be one of the reasons. It's funny because that rule was put into effect to juice up the scoring, figuring more plays to create more scoring, and it might have had the opposite effect.
Well, the coaches, at least the coaches we've talked to, are not in favor of the 40-second clock. They just as soon go back to 45. So needless to say, the quarterbacks don't think a lot of it either.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Brister guns one incomplete, intended for Bavaro, who was covered by Miles.
That was intended for Bavaro Walker. One or the other. Herschel Walker was about 3 yards in front of Mark Bavaro, and I'm not sure which one it was intended for.
I've seen that happen a couple of times tonight. 2 receivers in the same area, which obviously is not how it was put on the board.
2nd and 10, 5:31 left, third quarter. Dallas leading 16-10. Brister comes back the other way. Sherman gets a block. And on a screen, he takes it to the 49 of the Cowboys, where it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Somehow you look at that screen, it just looks like you should have got more out of it. Well called, well set up. They have people in front of it. Lester Holmes is out there in front of it, gets a good block. I think perhaps Pete Sherman might have been better advised to take that outside. Cowboys, if one thing they are, and that is quick. They react as fast as any team I've ever seen. You take anything back to the middle, you're going to run into people.
3rd and 6. Play clock down to 3. Brister pressure on a corner blitz, and it's incomplete, intended for Michael Young.
And once again, everything is executed properly. Everybody on the offense reads the corner blitz. Young breaks off his pattern. He is there, and the ball just sails high from Brister.
Yeah, Brister has taken some pounding tonight. Every time we take a shot, Brister is being hit in the back, rolled over, pounded, pummeled.
But this is a 1st down if he throws the ball a little bit lower. But you're right, he has taken a whipping tonight.
He goes to kick. Fair catch is called for and made at the 16-yard line by Kevin Williams.
I think you can be as tough as a linebacker, and that's how we have characterized Brister. But sooner or later, you're going to be flinching. You're going to be thinking, and it does throw you off. You just keep pounding on anyone, any quarterback, and it's going to happen.
Here's a reminder, Thursday night, a Matlock movie special. Andy Griffith starring in The Legacy. This Thursday night, prime time here on ABC.
Well, now we'll find out if the Dallas offense had any coffee during that last break, as they've been rather lethargic here in half number 2. See if they got a wake-up call.
Juan Valdez paid them a visit here as Emmitt Smith takes it out to the 20-yard line for a pickup of 4. Andre Waters makes the tackle. Well, the Cowboys dominated in the first half. Their possessions resulting in a score on each occasion, a touchdown and 3 field goals.
And the first 3 all good drives. Look at 61, 68, and 78 yards.
But a whole other story in the second half.
For a total of -2 yards.
You really have to give credit to the Eagles defense. They have pretty much stuffed the running of Dallas. And I think that has surprised a lot of people, but particularly Dallas.
2nd and 6, and Emmitt Smith breaks one through the middle. That puts him into triple figures. Kevin Gogan led the way with a block, and Emmitt Smith, who had 237 on the ground the last time these two teams played, is a little slow in getting up, and now has gained 108 yards on 18 carries.
The dynamite block by Gogan. Little trap block, pulling from the right side.
Emmitt got up, went a couple steps, went right back down. This will be a good look at it from above right there. Again, masterful blocking up front by the guys. He takes a very good shot there at the end from Wes Hopkins. But he made it about 2 or 3 steps, went back down, and then went over into the Cowboy sideline.
Gogan took Simmons out of the play. Lincoln Coleman comes in, the big bruising running back. And the pass is a little short. Harper had to reach down for it, couldn't hold on. Incomplete. Waters and McMillan covering on the play. We get a report on Emmitt Smith. Emmitt, of course, missed a good part of the Atlanta game with a quadricep bruise that responded in time for him to play 4 days later on Thanksgiving against Miami. There it is. Barry Sanders, of course, is out, so he's vulnerable there. Thurman Thomas chasing him, and counting what he has done tonight, there is Emmitt right back in the thick of things as he attempts to win a rushing title for the 3rd straight year. Coleman goes nowhere. Stopped by Simmons. 3rd and long upcoming.
Emmitt coming back in now.
No player has ever led this league in rushing despite missing 2 or more games. He missed those 2 with a holdout. Missed the Washington game, missed the Buffalo game at the outset of the year. Missed almost all of that Atlanta game. I think he only had 1 carry that day. So in effect, he's missed 3 games this season. 3rd and 9. And Aikman gets taken down to the 29. That's Andy Harmon with the sack.
Again, just good coverage deep by Philadelphia. The offensive line of the Cowboys gave Troy Aikman plenty of time to deliver that ball. He stepped up in the pocket, nobody there. Just fine coverage. Mark McMillan doing a good job over on his side. Both cornerbacks coming up and jamming the Dallas receivers at the line of scrimmage. They did a fine job.
Harmon's sack is his 5th. He leads the team. Sikahema back to receive the kick from Jet. Short. 36-yard kick. And Vi Sikahema brings it back to the 41-yard line. The Tongan-born Vi Sikahema went to Brigham Young, and if you combine his kickoff returns and punt returns, that ties a record held by Ron Smith, who played with several teams in the 70s. It's a testament to durability, to avoiding injury.
Nobody gets hammered like return men.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Heath Sherman escapes a tackle in the backfield, turns a loss into a small game as he escaped the clutches of Russell Maryland. Report on Smith as he just took a hit on that sore quad, but he came back into the game, so nothing of significance. Easy for us to say.
Yeah, the discussion about his injury, when they x-rayed, they found that he had calcium that they traced all the way back to a high school injury from a bruise he'd received in high school. And that can make for a very sore leg.
They do some carbon testing on it. I'd like to know how they know it goes all the way back to high school.
2nd and 9. And the catch is made. Flag is down. Sherman hauls it in at the 47. Marker down with that much time left in the 3rd, and Dallas leading by 6.
Pass complete to number 23, Heath Sherman, the pressure on the quarterback came from Chad Hennings.
Howard Rowe will fill us in. And it's against the Cowboys.
Illegal hand. Number 24 in the defense. To the face, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, we've had a fair number of those called tonight. Larry Brown, the cornerback on the far side of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's take a look at him right here. He's locked up with rookie Victor Bailey, and that's the shot right there. They call him for a hand to the face.
Ooh,
I'm telling you, we are.
You better not even come close to the face.
No.
Again, we look at it in slow motion. It's a little different.
A mere grazing appears to be enough to bring out the flag.
Keith Sherman to the 49. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Larry Brown makes the tackle, and we have under a minute to play in the third quarter. Texas Stadium, where this was a skating rink a week and a half ago. They played in an ice storm in that memorable game.
Bizarre game.
Helicopters supplied to us by our affiliate here, WFAA Television, circling, hovering above Texas Stadium.
Hope that cameraman got back inside it.
2nd and 9 as Brister throws, and the catch is made by Victor Bailey. He takes it to the 46-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 on what figures to have been the final play. Let's call it 3rd down and 3 upcoming.
You know, the Eagles have run so many short pass patterns here as we come to the end of the third quarter that they might be served now, I think, maybe with stretching the field a little bit. They have worked that 5, 6, 7-yard pattern to such an extent. Might be time to go deep.
16-10 Dallas after 3, and back we come in the fourth quarter of Monday Night Football after this from our ABC station. Okay. Norv Turner is the offensive coordinator here for the Cowboys. His team looking very good in the first half, but stalling here in the second. On the other side of the ball, of course, well, Dave Wannstedt did such a great job as the defensive coordinator. He got the job as the head coach in Chicago. As you know, Butch Davis has taken over as the defensive coordinator, and it's up to his group now to hold the Eagles on 3rd down and 2 as we start the fourth quarter. And the catch is made by Victor Bailey. That's a first down at the 39-yard line. Here's a reminder, Saturday on ABC Sports, you'll see Brian Boitano, Scott Hamilton, Nancy Kerrigan in the AT&T US Pro-Am Figure Skating Challenge. Also, the Hyatt Senior Tour Golf Championship featuring Chichi Rodriguez this Saturday right here on ABC Sports. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf, fourth quarter, 16-10 Dallas, first down Philly at the Cowboy 39-yard line. Herschel Walker with a big hole all the way to the 28-yard line, and that should be a first down. Take a look at the numbers now through the first 45 minutes of play as they appear on the screen.
Number 26, Kevin Smith, 27, Thomas Everett as a stop.
Philly getting back into it not only in the game, but statistically as well.
And keep in mind that the 254 yards there you see for the Dallas Cowboys, pretty much what they had at halftime. They did not pad their total much with anything that happened during the course of the third quarter. And look what we have here, a first down for the Eagles inside the 30-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. And people in this stadium and on the Dallas Cowboys sidelines, I think, much more tense than they anticipated being here in the fourth quarter when they were out in front to a 16-0 lead.
Well, Bud Carson's group figured it out because in the third quarter, the Cowboys, as you see, were limited to 18 yards after 236 yards of total offense in the first half. Here's Heath Sherman for the 26-yard line, tackled by Tony Casillas. If you joined us late, there's Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator and one-time head coach at Cleveland. If you joined us late, Dallas led 16-0. Looked like we had another rout on our hands. And all of a sudden, a field goal by Barr at the half. A fumble recovered by Philly at the 6-yard line and subsequent touchdown. And here are the Eagles knocking on the door.
Credit them with patience, too. They've not tried to get back into the game with big plays. They've taken what the Dallas zone defense will give you, and that's the underneath stuff.
On 2nd and 7, he floats one toward the corner and incomplete. Intended for a lunging Calvin Williams, who was pretty well covered on the play. Darren Woodson right there with him. Third down.
Now seldom will give you anything deep. They'll let you catch the ball many times in front. They give up a lot of yards, but they're not going to give away anything deep.
On the 27-yard line.
Third and 7. Here's the blitz. Mr. Rowland throwing on the run, throws it out of the end zone. Lofton caught it, but he was way out of bounds. There's a flag down back upfield. And Woodson, who was in on the blitz, is shaken.
That's intended for number 80, James Lofton, out of the end zone.
Against the Eagles.
Kevin Smith defending on the play for Dallas.
So Woodson, who was blitzing, is hurt.
Pass interference. Number 83 on the offense. Penalties decline. Brings up 4th down.
Michael Young. So what are you talking about? Well, they bring in Barr now. Penalty is declined. That means Barr's going to attempt about a 45-yard field goal as we have an injury timeout for Woodson.
It's interesting.
On 4th down now, Matt Barr comes in. He will attempt a 44-yard field goal. Jeff Fiegels, who's the punter, will do the holding. So Matt Barr, who made that 25-yarder after he hit the upright at the end of the first half, will try to draw the Eagles within 3. 44-yarder. Upright, and this time he doesn't get the carry. That looked good 99% of the way. It was to the goalpost. A full doink. Cowboys on top, 16-10. Cowboys trying to rebound after that Thanksgiving Day disaster, and that of course has been the subject of all of the conversation in Dallas over the last week and a half, and a game that people remember for a long time. But they lead here by 6. Aikman on 1st down gives the ball to Emmitt Smith. He breaks one through the middle. He's out in front, and Emmitt Smith cannot go all the way because he's tackled from behind by the speedy Mark McMillan. He was out in front, and McMillan caught him.
You can stop him over and over and over. You keep giving it to him, and he loves to accumulate the carries. He's going to pop it sooner or later.
Well, a good trap block by Gogan, a good screen off by Tuanay. Stepnowski and Nate Newton pin guys to the inside. Take a look at this. There's Newton on the down block. Tuanay right there blocks out Hager. Wes Hopkins just whiffs. Andre Waters whiffs. And McMillan shows some real speed in saving a touchdown.
And they give it right back to Smith. And Andy Harmon makes the tackle. That play 57 yards. And Emmitt Smith just gets better as the games go along. They give it to him a lot in the 4th quarter because they have the lead very often. He has the most rushing yards in the 4th quarter of any back in the league. And tonight he's picked up 166 yards. Again, it's coming off a game in which he had 237s, and he's going to have over 400 yards in 2 games against the same opponent. Lincoln Coleman comes in to give Emmitt a blow. 2nd and 9 at the 15. Aikman drops it off underneath. This is Coleman. The crowd is chanting loose for some. They think it's Johnston who has the ball. It's Coleman who's got it at the 10-yard line.
Well, Britt Hager, the middle linebacker, is the first guy to meet Coleman. And you talk about a guy who runs up trying to put a lick on somebody and doesn't seem to have any impact with it at all. Lincoln Coleman listed at 249. Here comes Hager, and it's Hager who ends up going backwards, trying to hold on until the rest of his team gets there. And look at this. Coleman is still standing up.
It makes it 3rd and 3, just inside the 10. Pressure on. Now this is the real Moose who makes the catch. And Johnston has a first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 4.
This is a guy, Daryl Johnston, who really is just a blocking back for Emmitt Smith, but what a receiver that he has blossomed into. He had 11 receptions in the Thanksgiving Day game and came into tonight with 38 on the season, 6 more than he's ever had before in a career. And what a valuable asset he has become to the Cowboys in their passing game.
Jimmy Johnson was pointing out that Bernie Kosar in the 2 games that he played against Phoenix and Atlanta checked off a lot to him.
Well, and Jay Novacek has drawn so much attention. Let's open things up for Johnson.
And here is Moose, who very much plays the same role that Tom Rathman plays for the 49ers and has played so beautifully through the years, taking it down to the 2-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 2.
The Moose, that's what they call him.
Babe Laufenberger used to play here in Dallas, came up to me on the sideline tonight and said there's the wrong guy is being credited for having named Johnston the Moose. It was me. So, Babe, I have set the record straight according to you.
Here's Moose again. Touchdown, Johnston.
Good block by Pro Bowler Mark Stepnoski at the center position. There's number 95, Mike Flores, still down on the ground. Take a look at this from high above. Stepnoski. There's the excellent block he throws on Andy Harmon, Gogan, Newton, 2-A, Williams, all these guys. They've had a good game.
They weren't even close to taking Johnson off his feet.
No.
First rushing touchdown for Johnston this season to go with 1 receiving touchdown. Mike Flores needs the attention. 22-10, going on 23 with 9:16 now remaining in the 4th quarter. So an injury timeout as they work on Flores, and we'll come back with the extra point after this.
The new Ram pickup features a frame design so strong, it's been patented. Its available rear step bumper can pull 5,000 pounds by itself without the help of that frame. And the tie-downs in back are so strong, they can support the weight of the entire truck. We overbuilt this pickup because we were sure you'd never underwork it. New Dodge Ram, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
What would you have if you took a taste just like White Zinfandel and added the celebration of champagne? You'd have something even better than White Zinfandel. You'd have the delicious new taste of Eden Rock Brut Rosé.
Both are battling to do it again. The Steelers meet the Dolphins next week on ABC's Monday Night Football.
They're assisting Mike Flores off the field, who was shaken up on the touchdown run by Daryl Johnston.
When you see an arm over each shoulder of the guys helping you off, that's a sign that he is not yet returned in whole to Texas Stadium.
Eddie Murray for the point after. Novacek to hold it. Pellestrade is snapping. And a 13-point lead now for the Dallas Cowboys, who came into the game better than a 2-touchdown favorite. 9:16 remaining in the 4th.
You want to know about Michael Irvin? Well, I'll tell you about Michael Irvin. Man has no fear. I remember this one play when, yeah, he was running a deep slant against the grain, against a swarming secondary. Oh, yeah. Does Michael hear the footsteps? Does Michael fear the footsteps? No. Michael locks in. Michael holds on. I hear the footsteps. You hear those footsteps?
What do you want for Christmas?
I want a bicycle, a Triceratops, a talk show. I want a younger brother.
I want a Big Bacon Classic from Wendy's. Biggie fries, an ice-cold drink to go with it, and a skateboard.
Use a workmate on your next job. And you'll never want to work without it. Get the workmate, only from Black & Decker.
We created a whole new automotive category. Brought the American Roadster back up to speed. And reshaped the four-door sedan. You could say we've changed all the rules. Makes you wonder what we'll think of next. The new Dodge.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC Sports by United Airlines. Come enjoy United's renowned international service, non-stop to London's Heathrow from 6 U.S. cities. Come fly the friendly skies.
In Irving, another sellout, 23-10, Dallas leads it. Ed Murray sending it skyward. This is by Simahema from the 3-yard line. Tackled up at the 19-yard line. ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. The people at Nike who encourage you to just do it. Braun Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head that adjusts to every contour of your face. And IBM, there's never been a better time to do business with IBM.
A great shot. Never seen it from a helicopter. Easy, baby.
Yeah, right. Straight in through the hole in the roof. More than 60,000.
A nice sound effect.
Eagles from the 18-yard line. And Bubby Brister throws. Navarro makes the catch. Tackled there by Larry Brown. Now, Leon Letts had a relatively uneventful night. We mentioned before, you know it around the country, that the infamous play, and that's the only way to describe it. Coming on the heels, of course, of the Super Bowl play where Don Beebe took the ball out of his hand at the goal line. Here was the play again on the ice. Stoyanovic's field goal attempt partially blocked. The rule says if it just rolls dead and nobody touches it, that's in effect the end of the game. But Leon got confused. Jeff Dallenbach made the recovery. Stojanovic kicked the field goal, and the rest is history. Second and 1.
More times than the Hindenburg.
Brister throws, the catch is made, and Bailey steps out of bounds. We talked to Jimmy Johnson about it last night. He said he didn't even see the play. He thought the game was over. He was about ready to walk across the field and shake hands with Don Shula, but he talked to Leon Lett. There were some people, amazingly, who thought he might cut Leon Lett. If he had done that, 27 teams would be at Leon's door the next day trying to sign him. He said, no way. I had to calm him down. He knew he made a hellacious mistake, and
well, he's done it in the past.
He had to get his mind back into it.
There've been margin of players that he's cut.
Well, Kirvin Richards is a guy that got a lot of attention when he got it. Leon Lett could make mistakes of that caliber for quite a while before he gets cut.
Here's Heath Sherman.
Good looking screen.
Bringing it out to the 46-yard line. 12-yard gain.
Bubby setting it up nicely, setting up in the pocket. Bringing in the defensive lineman.
First and 10 at the 46, 7:22 remaining. 23-10 Cowboys. Here's Walker. He takes it across the 50 to the 48. One thing about the Cowboys, though, they rallied around Lett. In particular, Jimmy Johnson felt that some of the media were acting very Piranha-like because Lett took a lot of grief for not meeting with the press. The Cowboy PR department issued a statement. And in effect, I mean, Jimmy's point is well taken here. He said, you know, there are just guys out there looking for a scoop, looking to make a name for themselves at the expense of somebody like a Leon Lett. But there's been a lot of sanctimonious stuff written about, you know, Lett should have done this and should have done that. Here's Navarro. taking it to the 36-yard line. And the ball comes loose, but after it had been blown down to the 36.
But in retrospect, looking back at it, both Leon and the Cowboys as an organization would have been better served if Leon would have walked out after the game and at least said something to the press. 2 sentences. It would have got a lot of those people off his back, because not talking to the press gave them an excuse to prolong it and write about it not just the next day but the day after and the day after.
It took on kind of a mystical happening.
We're not talking about the end of the world. Things happen awful quickly down on that field. He is not the first nor the last player to make a mistake during the course of a football game.
At the 35-yard line, Brister throws, and the catch is made by Bailey, who gets upended. And he signals first down.
The catch wasn't so great, to hang on to it when he was completely upended.
There's a guy that didn't really get a chance to win too many ball games at the University of Missouri when he played there, and it's been a rough rookie year for him. But here's a guy who's making a name for himself as a tough receiver, a guy not afraid to go over the middle and take a lick after he catches the ball. Victor Bailey's going to be in this league for a while.
Eagles driving. Sherman tackled from behind by Everett after a gain of a couple. 5:08 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Jimmy wants something done that he didn't get done. He said, I want it now.
Some people can coach, some people can't.
I think he's talking.
This guy can.
They don't do it very often, but I think he wants to blitz. Try and take him back for a potential field goal. Who knows?
That was an easy lip read. 2nd and 8 at the 16.
Yeah, here they come.
Brister. Oh, a little too far for Williams. He was covered on the play by Woodson. 3rd down. 4:36 remaining. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Cowboys came with the blitz, and Brister had a good read just off the fingertips. The Eagles have hung right in there tonight.
They hung in there, but then Barr missed that field goal, and then Emmitt Smith killed him with that long run leading to the touchdown. Brister tonight, 24 of 40, 3rd and 8. Walker is the man in motion. Brister guns it over the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for Walker.
Got a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Bates with the coverage. Rowe tells us the penalty is holding against the Eagles.
Oh, now this is a toughie for Dallas. Do you take it and give them another down? Or this brings up a 4th down if they decline the penalty?
Well, I think it declined only because
the field goal doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, they're going to still have to score twice more even with a field goal.
Yep. Number 79 offense. Penalties decline. Brings up 4th down.
Now 4th down is no different than 3rd down for the Eagles here. They've got to go for it. A field goal is relatively unimportant, and Bubby Brister is going to take a timeout and go on over and talk about it to Rich Kotite.
Going to be 4th down and 8. Well, a good one next week, a real good one, as we go to Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. The Dolphins, despite the loss of Dan Marino, with a mark of 9-3 and on top in the AFC East against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who all of a sudden now are chasing the red-hot Houston Oilers. Neil O'Donnell leading them. We'll find out about Barry Foster if he can get back into the lineup. Final game for Pittsburgh. Miami trying to hang on in the AFC East. That's our attraction next Monday night. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be in New Orleans for the red-hot Giants against the Saints.
Anytime you go to Miami, it's just a chance to be in the backyard of the man who's become a national treasure, Don Shula. You see them 9-3 as Buffalo struggles to get things going. They drop back to 8-4, and Houston, the winners of 7 consecutive ball games, out to an 8-4 record after a dozen games. In Pittsburgh, after we saw them dismantle Buffalo on Monday night, looking like the best team in the league, they have tripped and fallen.
Remember after the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, how everybody had written Houston off, total revolt down there. They had that slaughter up in Buffalo. We thought that was the end of them.
Had Pardee fired.
Yeah. Well, here's a little fourth down action for you here.
4th and 8. Brister trying to keep the Eagles alive, and he guns one complete to the 8-yard line, and it's Calvin Williams making the catch, enough for a first down.
Well, give Calvin Williams a lot of credit. How many times in this situation do you see a receiver run a route where he just doesn't go deep enough to get the necessary yardage? Perfectly run by Williams, a good throw by Brister. But, geez, don't you see it over and over again where that guy comes up a yard short in that pattern?
1st and goal. And again, the Eagles in a situation they love to be in and have been successful in all but one time this year on 1st and goal. And again, they get it in. This time it's Bavaro for the touchdown.
Number two for Bavaro.
Credit Brister with a good scramble, and then directing Bavaro to continue his pattern.
The Eagles, the team that just won't die. 23-16 going on 17 with Bars Point after.
Well, let's not concede that yet.
Right.
Striking the upright twice tonight.
Good look at Bavaro. He was actually blocking on that play. Eased out into the flat. Brister flushed out of the pocket, directed him into the end zone. Good effort by a couple of pros.
Last time Mark Bavaro scored 2 touchdowns in a game during his halcyon years with the Giants, 1988. Bar's extra point is good. 3:46 remaining in regulation. All right, now you're Richie Kotite.
Onside kick.
Well, you've only got 1 timeout left.
That's the
too.
problem.
You've used 2. You got 1 timeout and 1 at the 2-minute warning.
It would be a lot easier to kick it deep and try to get the ball back by a defensive effort if you had all 3 of your timeouts remaining. But the fact you only have 1, this makes you consider the onside kick. Sure. Although with 3:46 left, it would be unusual to onside kick with that much time left. You got 1 timeout. You got the 2-minute warning. You've got 2 stoppages of the clock.
Yes, it's a tough call here. But clearly, no question. With 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, you send it downfield.
The 8-yard touchdown pass.
I'm not sure if I'm Rich Kotite, I could onside kick here. That's
11-play, 81-yard drive.
And it's really hard to do.
I think the fact that you saw Bud Carson circled up his troops on the sidelines, his defensive unit, and not the kickoff unit. I don't think you're going to see an onside kick.
Man. Well, the Cowboys are going to protect against it regardless here as they send a lot of folks.
Well, you got to do that.
The 45-yard line.
They shut the Cowboys down pretty much here in the second half. 1 big run by Emmitt Thomas was the difference.
And they send it downfield, and Williams has to go back to get it. He fields at the 5 and gets written down at the 22-yard line. And so now it is vital for the Eagles to hold them without a first down.
And the Eagles are down to 1 timeout.
23-17 with 3:36 remaining in regulation. Passing, Philadelphia.
Look at Dallas.
The second half, and Dallas just 2. Big first half for Aikman and the gang, and nothing in the second.
150 yards passing for the game for the Dallas Cowboys is definitely subpar.
So Smith the tailback, Johnston the fullback, Novacek in motion in their most conventional formation, and they give it to Emmitt Smith, which is no surprise, and he takes it out to the 26. Britt Hager makes the tackle. So Smith now in the 2 games against the Eagles has gained over 400 yards. In the history of the league in one season, there's only 1 guy who ever gained 400 yards against 1 opponent, and it was O.J. Simpson
against the Jets,
against New England in 1973.
Yeah.
In O.J.'s 2,000-year season, he gained 469, and here's Emmitt Smith tonight, 406 in the 2 games.
You're right about the Jets. He broke the 2,000-yard mark against the Jets.
He had a 200-plus yard game. Remarkable performance there by Emmitt Smith.
2nd and 7. Aikman throws it out. Irvin makes the catch. Big first down.
Big. Risky call.
McMillan again. McMillan played this very well. He played it very tight.
Well, Norv Turner, give him credit for the call. An incomplete pass stops the clock and really plays into the hands of the Eagles.
Well, who are you going to go to? You go to your big play guy, and here it is, Irvin working against the little guy, McMillan. McMillan plays it as good as you're going to play it. Aikman timing it out beautifully.
So Norv Turner, we figure it's his call in that particular situation. That's Irvin's first catch of the half, his 6th of the game. They give it to Smith. He gets bottled up after a short gain. That's going to stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And then 1 timeout remaining for the Eagles. 2 minutes to go, 23-17 Dallas. And back we come after this message from the National Football League.
He was perhaps the greatest running back the game has ever known. And on the day he set the NFL's all-time rushing record, his uniform was sent to the Hall of Fame. His own arrival was only a matter of time.
Hi, I'm Walter Payton. My induction into Pro Football's Hall of Fame is an honor that will always be special to me. But that honor was made even more special because my son Jared presented me for enshrinement, something that no other son has done for his father.
Your friends and your fans, I say congratulations to.
We're both thrilled with the hall itself. A treasure chest of football history with its regal enshrinement gallery, its action theater, its authentic mementos and exhibitions. From 100 years of pro football, the hall does more than celebrate the game I love. It lets the future touch the past.
The Hall of Fame, where legends never die and the season never ends. This message furnished by the National Football League.
But Carson has his defense gathered around him. What they've got to do here is stop him on this play, call a timeout, create a 3rd down, and stop him there, and hope to get the ball back. It's as simple as that. 2nd and 8 coming up, 2 minutes to go. Cowboys up by 6.
Or slap it out of somebody's hands. That's what they're all talking about. And, of course, that's what Dallas is talking about. Andre Waters. Interesting. A couple of years for Andre. Broke the fibula in his leg and had an infection, a terrible infection, and they ultimately had to cut off about 1 inch of one of his toes. Still out there hammering on people.
2nd down and 8 at the 43-yard line. With the win, the Cowboys would stay a game back of the Giants. And again, the Giants and Cowboys meet on the final day of the season. If they wind up in a tie, which would mean Dallas would have to beat the Giants, Dallas would win the tiebreaker by virtue of 2 wins against them. Here is Emmitt Smith. He is stopped. Now the Eagles should take, let's see, do they take a timeout here? They do. They do. They wasted a couple of seconds. They could have had it a little bit earlier.
Boy, good play there by Seth Joyner. Takes on the lead block of Jay Novacek, drives him back and makes the tackle. You don't see that very often.
He may have lost the ball for a second.
I think that's what Seth Joyner was jumping up and down about, that he thought maybe he had a chance to get the football.
And Andre Waters is giving some lip to somebody, and Clyde Simmons is saying, stay in the game, pal. Come on.
There's the play by Owen. You're right. Look at the football came out and bounced right back to Emmitt Smith. That's the 2nd time today that a ball has gotten away from Emmitt Smith and bounces right back to him. No wonder Joyner's so upset about that.
I think Joyner knocked it out of there.
Oh, Joyner did everything on that play. This has been, we have seen some very, very fortunate bounces of the football tonight for the Dallas Cowboys. That goes, just in the list I'm keeping, that's number 5 for me in keeping track. I mean, 2 interceptions that could have been but weren't dropped by the Eagles. 2 fumbles by Emmitt Smith that both bounce right back to him, and Kevin Williams muffs a punt and has the ball bounce back to him.
Everyone's got an entitlement. We ought to have the Deerdorf list.
And you know what? It's amazing. I didn't even write that down, but I did guess that it was a Jets and it was a Patriots. So that just gets me back to even.
All right, 3rd down and 8, a 1st down will end this game effectively if Dallas can get it. Aikman's going to the air. Flush. Slides down at the 44. That means the Eagles are going to get the ball back. From the 44, they'll take as much time as they can off the clock, but then Jet's going to have to punt it. And the Eagles are going to have to move downfield and score a touchdown without a timeout.
Be about 1 minute left when we get down to the point where Dallas actually has to snap this football. About 1 minute and 2 seconds.
So Jet to kick. The line of scrimmage is the 43. Sikahema back to accept it.
Jet will just watch the play clock. He'll take it right on down before he makes the snapping signal to the center. There you go.
There it is. Good utilization of the clock.
Oh, what a beauty.
Sikahema, well, he thought about calling for a fair catch and then decides to run it back, and the Cowboys had other ideas. Brock Marion stops him at the 11, so they're going to have to go 89 yards in 55 seconds with no timeouts.
And without
trying to make the big play.
And without Randall Cunningham and without Fred Barnett.
That's a little choice here by Sikahema. He made a half a fair catch. He said, well, one way to make a big play is to return a punt. Cowboys said no.
Now, I'm not sure that Cunningham and Barnett could do it. I'm not sure Van Brocklin and Tommy McDonald could do it. But we'll see if Brister and the gang can do it from the 11-yard line.
How about Ron Jaworski and Mike Quick?
They could do it. The catch is made over the middle. That's Young. He's to the 18. 2nd and 3, but that's barely consequential here.
How about Harold Carmichael? He maybe could do it.
Yep. How about Tittle and Shoffner?
Wrong team.
Oh.
We knew you'd get around to the Giants sooner or later.
Same division.
Whistler on 2nd down. Throws, and it's intercepted by Bill Bates.
And Bubby has to make the tackle to end the ball game. To no one's surprise, there's jawing taking place over on the sideline. This was not easy for the Dallas Cowboys. I think most people, the odds makers included, thought it was going to be a lot easier.
Hey, it might send a message to Minnesota, the Jets, and Washington, and the Giants that the Cowboys are not back to where they were a year ago.
And I'll tell you something else it says about Richie Kotite's ball club. This team's got a lot of fight in it. They are crippled, maimed, and in most of the games they've played this year, not the talent level of their opponents, and yet they fight, they stay in the games, they scrap. If you think good things come out of fighting your way through adversity, that may be the case in the future for the Philadelphia Eagles, who pretty much effectively see their playoff hopes disappear with this loss here tonight.
Boy, and did Bubby Brister take a pound.
As he does week after week, and just bounces back, and they'll bounce back next week against Buffalo at Veterans Stadium, and then wrap it up at Indy with New Orleans as Jerry Jones accepts congratulations. And then we'll see Philly again on closing night this year at San Francisco, and they hope to have Cunningham back for that game or perhaps before. So tonight the Dallas Cowboys go to 8-4 as they beat the Eagles 23-17. We go to Miami next week for Pittsburgh against the Dolphins. Till then, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf saying good night from Irving.
Jazz, a game that went down to the wire, and also Marshall Faulk's decision. Will he stay or will he go at San Diego State? A lot has happened to the defending Super Bowl champs since the last time they squared off with the Eagles. Dallas followed up their victory over Philadelphia with a road loss to the Falcons and a home defeat to Miami. That took place on Thanksgiving. Dallas needed a win tonight at home to stay a game behind the East leading Giants. The man of the hour, the man of the year, Leon Lett. Leon playing some inspired football. Just ask Vaughn Hebron. Eagles only 4 rushing yards in the first quarter. Eagles had their chance. Aikman almost picked off by Eric Allen. Emmitt Smith loves playing against the Eagles. Had a record-setting performance at the Vet. 3rd and 8, squirms away, gets the first down. And Thomas wondering how he let him get away. Aikman then looking for Michael Irvin. Has not been getting into pay dirt land too often this year, but puts the Cowboys up 7-0 Then it's more Emmitt.
Novacek in motion.
34-yard run. Breaks away. The flag was against Philly. He would fumble on the play, but Emmitt would recover. Tony Dorsett. And I used to be able to do that. He probably still could for some teams. Britt Hager can't hold on to the INT. Cowboys get a field goal. They led 16-3 at the half. Second half, Dallas deep into their own end, and Aikman hit by Clyde Simmons. John Roper recovers, led to a Bavaro TD, and suddenly it's 16-10. Then Emmitt busting free. Looked like he was going to go all the way, but gets caught. It set up a Darrell Johnson TD. It was 23-10 Dallas. But Bubby Brister brings him back, finds Bavaro, and the man pulls a few Cowboys into the secondary. Victor Bailey holds on. Brister looking for Bavaro again. It's 23-17. Eagles get the ball back. One last chance. Inside a minute to go. And the gritty gutty. Bill Bates picks off Bubby. Ball game. Cowboys win it. They were a convincing favorite in this game, but had to hold on. Give credit to Philadelphia. Emmitt, fourth straight 100-yard game against the Eagles. Dallas, 172 yards on 23 carries for Smith tonight. First sweep of the Eagles in 9 years. Next week, they will visit the Vikings. As for Philadelphia, next week, they will host the Bills. Andrea Kramer, she's right out there in Irving, Texas. Andrea standing by with one of the stars of the game. Andrea?
Thank you very much. You know, the last 5 games, Michael Irvin has only had 14 catches, no touchdowns, only 2 touchdowns the whole year. People are saying, where's Michael Irvin? People found out tonight with a touchdown. What enabled you to finally break through?
Well, we just kind of got me a little more involved in offense. I mean, defense has been doing a great job. A lot of defenses have been doing a great job taking me out of offenses. And what we got to do is just take what teams give us. We can't go in and say, well, hey, there's 2 guys on Michael. We're gonna force the ball in there. We were smart. We were running the ball and throw it to Alvin and the other guys.
Tell me about the 11-yard touchdown.
Well, it was just a simple corner route. I lined up and was looking for man-to-man. I don't remember the guy that was over me, but I just ran to the corner and it was wide open. You know, it's kind of funny when you're that wide open. You're so scared, like, see, I may drop this. But the ball got there in time and it was an easy touchdown.
It seemed that the offense finally started clicking. The troika of you, Emmitt, and obviously Troy. What enabled that to happen, except, of course, in the third quarter when you guys were shut out?
Yeah, well, we're not clicking like we want them to click. We're not on all 8 cylinders yet. That comes with time. You know, we've been missing time. I've been missing Troy. We've been missing Emmitt. And we're not in sync like we were last year, like we would like to be on. You know, we're going to keep practicing and understand right from here on out it's all business. We control our own destiny, and we got to keep working hard, and we'll get all 8 cylinders.
How much does this win mean, especially after the past 10 days, the whole Leon Lett fiasco?
Well, that's behind us, and quite honestly, it's just one win. It's not a big win. It's a big win because every win is a big win, but we take it as one win. It's all business. Like, we can't get too excited about this win.
Thank you very much, Mike Irvin. We very much appreciate your time. Dallas Cowboys with a victory tonight over Philadelphia. How's the quad feeling?
It's hurting. It's definitely hurting, but the victory take away a lot of the pain.
The 57-yard run, just a superb effort. Tell me about what they were doing up front.
The offensive line did a great job opening up the hole, and it was there. And all I did was run, and ran as fast as I could, as far as I could. And it was just a great play by everybody. Everybody on the field working together, doing the job, and getting everything done.
Why do you have such success against this Philadelphia Eagle team?
Sweetheart, I can't even tell you. I mean, I guess the Lord is looking over me, looking over this team, and we're trying our hardest to get back to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a long road for us, and we're just doing everything we can possibly do to get out and win victories.
Very lucky. 2 fumbles, but they both bounced your way.
Hey, the man up above is looking after me, and I thank him for it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time, Michael.
By the way, Dallas will be visiting the Vikings next week. Philly will be hosting the Bills.
Okay, you've seen some of the biggest stars, but every Monday we go calling all stars.